Alright, in this challenge run, we'll be playing Valheim on hardcore mode with no portals, and we're going to be trying to use realistic survival techniques to make it through to the end. So let's go through here. I want a braid and a big beard. Make him pale white and blonde. Pretty standard northerner. There we go. Right. So brand new save, and let's go ahead and create a new world. So I'll just name it the same thing, I guess. For core, we need to adjust the modifiers here. So we're going to do hardcore settings, and like I said, we'll turn off portals, and I think everything else will leave the same. I thought about maybe increasing the raids, but they're pretty annoying as it is. So I think we'll just deal with it like that. And all the other like rules and whatnot that we're trying to accomplish, we will cover as we're going so we don't inundate you in the beginning. So we'll see you inside. Here we go. We are in. And I forgot. Switch my mouse settings. Can't play regular. All right, here we go. So get rid of the bird. Let's go ahead and gather some resources here. You know, we start off near the altar. We'll talk about this later. I'm still pretty new to the game. I haven't played since 2021, other than helping my kids. My kids wanted to play this, so I've been playing through it with them on really easy settings. This is a totally different thing, though, hardcore. So hopefully we can survive it. All right, so we got some starting stuff. If we run into any animals that want to attack us, we'll eat. So we don't get one shot here. But essentially what we want to do is try to get a shelter up. So when you're in a survival setting, there's this thing called the rule of threes. So you can last for about 3 minutes without air, which I beg to differ. I don't know. I can't hold my breath that long. You can last for 3 hours without shelter, 3 days without water, and 3 weeks without food. So just kind of a general rule of thumb. In Valheim, it doesn't quite translate, so we'll change it up just a little bit. But for now, we just need to get some shelter going. We'll try and find some supplies off the floor if we can. And we don't have a weapon, so we're going to box this dude up. Now, another rule that we have is we can't go to the next biome unless we're fully prepared. And fully prepared means we've leveled up all of our skills. So even though fist fighting is probably not the most advantageous thing to do in a survival setting like this, we're going to level all skills up, including fist fighting, up to level 20 before we go to the dark forest. So we'll gather some dandelions that will be used for our first helmet. Let's see here. So I don't want to explore too far away from the altar because we need to get some kind of system down so we don't get lost. We need to be able to come back here and then have travel paths emanating outward from here. So we'll have to come up with a system so that we can navigate properly. And we need 10 of these dandelions before we can craft. But even before that, we just need to get a basic base going. I don't see any leftover ruins. And also, as a general rule of thumb, you want to go downhill to get to water. So you can see down here, we did get lucky. That looks to be the sea level. So if we come down here, and then we can trace it out this way. It looks like that is the ocean. We are not far from the altar. And actually the altar, let me come back up here and make sure that we can get to the altar from here. So like I said, we don't want to get lost. We need to make sure we know how to get here and back. And we'll definitely take some mushrooms along the way. So here's, oh God, I just ran into boars. There's the altar. Okay. Well, we might end up dying here. We got to fight this one off. He's not going to leave us alone. We want him to attack, and then we want to turn and hit him, and then let him wander off, and we'll just keep doing that. So the water, yeah, it looks like the water starts right down here. Oh my God. Yep, we're about to die. So let's go ahead and eat. There we go. One more hit, and I think he'll be done. Let's stay on the altar. I don't think anything's going to attack us here besides this one. Oh, he almost hit us. I guess maybe the punch pushed him back and he wasn't able to get the hit off. He definitely lunged at us. So yeah, there we go. We're about to die. Oh, let's not fight another boar. What a good start, huh? So obviously my survival instincts are not very good, but that's what we're here for. We're going to try to adjust. So we don't want to be fighting anything until we have at least a proper weapon. I don't mind fighting the greylings, but I don't want to fight another boar. Please don't charge me. There we go. So he's backing off. Okay, so from here, yeah, we can definitely see the altar from the water line. Let's just go follow the water line. There's some lizards. We can take those things out for food. Yep, so we're gonna head down, and look at that. Beautiful, beautiful ocean. So we just need to make sure we're getting a decent supply of wood, because we're gonna need that to... Oh, wow, look at that. There's an abandoned building on a little island out there. Now, I don't think we can get out there unless we build a raft. That might actually be worth doing. It might not be a bad idea to just build a temporary or find a temporary structure to live in. See if we can spot one here. I don't know if those are rocks or structures, but main goal right now is just to stay along the coastline so we don't get lost. We need to find shelter, secure a decent source of food. We've already got a little bit of food, but we need to get, I think, more meats. Meats are going to give us more HP, and I feel like that's the thing that we probably need the most, so we don't get one shot. Yeah, if we can find an abandoned structure, it would save us a little bit of time, but we may not be able to find that. And here's a brimstone, and this is not a useful one. Let's just keep moving. So, I see something right there. Yeah, I think we can use that. It's a little farther than I wanted to be. That might actually not be a bad one to hold. It looks like it's pretty big. Maybe we'll just take that one over and stay there. I don't think we need to be on an island necessarily. It would be nice, especially when it comes to raids, but I don't want to cheese anything here. So we're not going to use any cheese tactics. I just saw something moving. Railing, all right. Yeah, as long as we don't have bears creeping up on us, I don't really care. We should be able to handle everything else. So here we go. We got a beautiful little building. Oh no, it's got a tree. Yeah, that's going to be hard. That's not one that we can chop down either, unfortunately. So maybe we could still use it. It'll just have a hole in the roof for that specific spot. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, everything else is okay. Let's go back outside and start prepping it. So we've got some pretty serious holes here. And we're going to need a lot of wood. So first thing we need to do is craft a stone axe. We do have enough supplies. So let's go ahead and do that. We also need a hammer. And not to get hit by this guy. And yeah, if we corner him, our pushback from the punch doesn't actually happen. And he's actually getting hits on us. That's not a big deal. So it took some damage from a grayling, but we'll survive. All right, what do you need, bird? Oh, there's another island out here we could use as well. So this is a decent spot. We could take this whole area over, turn that into like a little island fortress. I don't know, we'll see. But for now, we'll use this. So first thing, let me just organize this. And we're gonna need quite a bit of wood, so let's get chopping. And I'll probably stay away from chopping the big trees for now, just to avoid any dangers until we can get proper food supply. And then if a tree falls on us, we'll at least have a chance of surviving. I found some raspberries close by. Yeah, once we get a hoe, we'll start to make it easy to spot these for later, but we'll cover that in a bit. Also, we're near water, which makes it easy to collect flint. Flint is super important to get a better axe. You can start crafting spears and whatnot, so we'll make that a high priority, but not quite yet. We broke our axe, which is good. We've got quite a bit of wood to show for it. So let's head back and start fixing this place up. Now, I guess we got some decisions to make. Do we want to just tear it down and rebuild it from scratch, or just kind of recycle? I think for now, shut up, bird. For now, I think we'll just repair it. It's not the worst design. It's got a decent amount of space in there, and we can put a fire on the inside because it has natural ventilation. So I'm good with it. But it is missing a lot of pieces, so we'll have to fix this thing up proper. Okay, so that's fully repaired. Let's go ahead and move this inside, actually. And I forgot. There's so many pieces on the floor that are missing. Okay, let's start repairing this. Can we build through this tree? If we can build through the tree, it's really not a big deal. It just becomes part of the house then, I guess. That's kind of cool. Yeah, that'll work. Now, normally, well, we'll talk about it when we build our real house. So we'll tear this down soon, and then there's some extra rules that we've self-imposed for building. But I think for this one, it's an existing structure. We're grandfathered in. We'll just use it. So let's go ahead and finish this off. Now we need to figure out where we're going to build our fire. So probably towards the back. I think makes the most sense. And then we might want to relocate this because that's a little dangerous. Yeah, we'll put it right next to the tree here. Go ahead and build our hoe before we run out of supplies. And then we can also repair. Perfect. All right, let's go ahead and fix up the floor around here. Make sure we've got nice level terrain, no grass peeking through. So just finishing cleaning up the outside here so we can see out of our little window. Although I might even get rid of the window. We don't need one for a starter. I do want to get our log back here. Yeah, let's go ahead and get rid of this outside window. Not really a fan of that. We don't need people peeking in and spying on us. Now, we don't have a roof covered. We have it for some parts, but not everything. So let's go ahead and deal with that. Now the fire needs to have proper ventilation. So if we were to build a roof like that, I don't know if that actually... No, we should probably just build it this way. We can funnel the smoke. You gotta be careful how you build your interior if you have a fire. Because the smoke will end up suffocating you if you don't deal with it properly. So this should be okay. Funnels up to the top, and then we can punch these out. Give it a place to ventilate, and then we're still covered in here. Everything looks good still. Probably doesn't need to be that big actually. About a half. How about a half wall? There we go. Get some flooring down. We're not animals. And last thing we need is a bed. So we'll just put that over here. Out of the way in the back. Also, we need a way to cook some meat, so let's go ahead and throw some of these. So if we do it right, we should be able to fit 3 or 4 of these things on, if I remember. Also, we have enough flint now. We can craft a flint axe, which is going to do a better job. Does more damage, so we'll hang on to that. Let's also get a club for defense. Has better range than our bare fists. Alright, now one of the most important things right now is this rested buff. You see in the top right, the red. So we want to make sure we're staying rested as often as possible. That is going to be almost a substitute for our water. Obviously there's no drinking, there's no water system in this game, but this will be a supplement. So we never want to be caught out in the wild without water on us, without being rested essentially. So I think that's probably good. It is nighttime, I believe. Yeah, it is. And we got necks near us. If they leave us alone, we'll deal with them in the morning. Let's try and get some sleep. And let's do a skill recap. We'll try and do this at the end of each day if I remember. So running, 5. Got fists up at 10. Wood cutting at 11. And then everything else is pretty low. So not too bad. So let's go ahead and get some sleep. That'll be end of day 1. All right, here we are. Starting day 2. I've got my notes so we can unpause here. There we go. So what's on the agenda today is securing 3 sources of meat. Let's go ahead and eat our meat right now. We do have some boar, but we need to get a lot more. We need to get neck, boar, and deer. To be able to get neck and boar, we're fine. We can just hunt those. To be able to get deer, we're going to need to craft either a bow or a spear. We're pretty far away from getting a bow, but I think a spear is manageable. We should be able to do that. But we can start off by getting some of these lizards that are on the coastline. We also need to collect more flint, and the flint is going to be used for a spear. There we go. So neck tail, that's perfect. This is exactly what we need. So we'll keep hunting these guys down along the coastline, gathering a few more of the flint. Oh, that is a grayling. I thought that was my bird. What happened? And then we'll keep using our fists for these guys, just because they're pretty easy to deal with. So this island looks like it could be a good candidate. There's plenty of space here, so we could build this up, separate it from the mainland. We can dig down a little deeper in certain areas to make it harder for them to reach. But the thing is, I don't really want to lock myself in. I kind of would rather have something on the coastline where you can see it, but maybe not on the coastline where a storm's going to have waves coming through your base. That's kind of annoying when that happens. So yeah, this is definitely a temporary base, and there's no way we're chasing that guy. So we'll come back from later. We don't want to lose track of our base, so we'll go along the coast, maybe this direction, and then we want to go back, we need to go to the right. And we have a heavy fog setting in, so that might be a little challenging. Oh wow, this guy's helping us hunt the deer. Oh, we missed. Alright, never mind. False alarm. So I'm going to go collect some stuff. We'll come back when we get something different happening, but for the most part, we'll just be hunting lizards and flint. And then we'll go work on getting a spear. We do need to take out, I think, one more boar to be able to craft the spear, so we need to do that as well. Alright, there's an abandoned building here. Another one. This one has a chest up here. We'll definitely take everything from that. No beehive, unfortunately. Oh, no, I stand corrected. There is a beehive up there. Perfect. Yeah, it's all the way at the top. So bees spawn in abandoned buildings in the meadows. So what we want to do is take this whole building down so that beehive falls as well. So to do that, we just take out the supports. Anything touching the floor. Once there's nothing touching, it's just going to start falling apart. There we go. And then eventually it'll hit the ones up there that's supporting the bee's nest, and then that'll fall. We'll take the queen. There we go, we got it. So queen bee, we can now build a beehive. That's huge. Yeah, I was not expecting to find that. Usually that takes a bit longer to find if you don't get lucky, but I guess we got a little lucky here. Anyways, back to the hunt for necks and one boar at least. All right, we found our boar. We used the club here. Oh, we got him. Got a sneak attack on him. So that is leather scraps. We'll have enough. Let's actually go back and craft the spear so we can start hunting deer as we come across them. There we go. So using the coastline roll, even under heavy fog, pretty easy not to get lost. Just got to make sure you know which direction to go, and then you'll be just fine. So let's get in there and craft. So flint spear, not too bad. Right, now, one thing we probably need to do is get some basic inventory management going. Let's go ahead and craft at least a chest or two here, and then we can put some things back in. So, like, the beehive, we probably want to set up right now. So let's give them a nice long pole to sit on. Keep them off the ground so that monsters don't come up and just take them out right away. There we go. Also, we only need 2 more dandelion or whatever the flower is before we can craft our helmet. So why don't we just go look for 2 of those. Perfect. That's it. Let's go back. So Midsummer Crown costs 10 dandelion. It doesn't give you much, but when you start with almost 0 armor, getting a +1 actually makes a huge difference. So that should help our survival. Also, let's go ahead and cook some of the meat. Yeah, because we want to make sure we have plenty of HP to survive a big hit. The rest of the stuff we can probably put down. Okay, there we go. So now we have plenty of food. Our HP pool's looking healthy. Let's start hunting more deer. We'll begin hunting deer and we'll start looking for more boar, because that's going to be a big bottleneck here if we can't find enough of them. So we'll go along the coastline again. We'll go back towards the shrine or the altar, because I know we ran across a bunch of boars over here. Right, here's some deer. We can definitely hunt. Now, hunting with the spear, you do have to aim kind of high. Let's go ahead and get some sneak skill as well. There's a good hit, and it's going to spook the other one. That's fine. We'll get the other one later. So good first kill. We actually got a deer trophy, so we can... Oh. Alright, there we go. Yeah, that guy came out of nowhere. So we also got a boar. So what we're going to keep hunting in this area. We'll take out as much or as many animals as we can. Deer kill. Perfect. I see some boar up there as well. There we go. The fog is finally starting to break. So we're back here by the altar. Yeah, there it is. We've taken out a handful of boar and deer, but really not that much. Yeah, we need to find a much bigger spawn than that if we can. But now that we can actually see, it should be a bit easier. Made some pretty good amount of lizards here, and they're all dropping tails. Oh, so we're not quite fully stocked on meat, but I would say we've got maybe a day or two supply worth, so we should be good. And we made a full loop around the altar area, so that's kind of picked clean. We'll have to go out along the coastline if we want to move out without getting lost, I think. We got a couple more boars here. That's perfect. There we go, and I think that might have been a 1-star. Not positive. No, maybe not. So we've got 6 deer meat, 5 boar, and 4 tails, and I see some more up here. So yeah, I'm going to finish cleaning these up. We'll head back, and then we'll put a game plan together for tomorrow, because we are starting to get close to the end of the day. Oh, can we get that? Nice. Snuck the deer killing before these guys came out. We'll collect some wood on the way back, just because I know we'll need a lot of it. Other thing, if we can come across them, I'd love to take out some birds. Ooh, man, right in the body. So they'll drop feathers, and we'll need a lot of those later for crafting arrows, I think. I usually just use the cheap wooden ones, because I'm kind of a cheap bastard, but I think in a one life setting like this, I can definitely justify using the better ones. All right, there's a deer. Another boar. We'll keep hunting. Yeah, it's almost nighttime, but... Oh, we just got smacked. And we scared off the 1-star deer. Oh, we hit him in the foot. We get another lucky shot. Oh, no, my spear. We're getting chased by everything now. Okay, I think now is a very good time to go back. We don't have a rested bonus. Yep, no sense in chasing the deer. We're really close. We're right here anyways. Let's head back. So made it back home. Let's go ahead and put some inventory back. We don't want to put certain things in storage like the wood. Just takes up space. Alright, everything's put away. Let's see what the bird wants. We'll go inside and cook, look at levels, and then we'll call it a night. That'll be end of day 2. We've got quite a bit of meat to cook. It's going to take us a couple rounds, even with 4 spits. Yeah, we'll need to do one more. Actually, a couple more. Yeah, we have a lot of deer. So while we're waiting on that, let's go ahead and check out our levels, and then we'll call it a night. So running is up to 10. That's pretty good. Fist's already at 13, so we'll have that one at our required level soon. Let's see, clubs are getting up there. Woodcutting at 13, and then spear at 8. Spear is going to level so fast. It's just such a good weapon. It's really easy to level that one quickly. Okay, so yeah, that's it. That'll be end of day 2. We'll be back in just a minute after we finish cooking and sleeping. Here we go, starting day 3. So on the agenda for today, I would like to find more boars to get more leather. We need that to craft a few more things. We can get some rag trousers. That'll give us a little bit more armor. We could start upgrading things if we upgrade our workbench, but again, we need to have... Look right here, chopping block. We need flint and wood. We could actually do that right now. And then here we need leather scraps and deer hide to upgrade that. So 20, that's a lot. So let's try and get these accomplished, or at least working towards it. And then the next goal is to start clearing out some land back here, away from the coastline. It's still within sight of the coast, but maybe further back in, just so that we can start building a base. Maybe like even just right here, or a couple steps back right here. Oh, what is that? A boar? Yeah, we'll start clearing some of the trees from around here. They are so aggressive. Kill you with my bare hands. Yeah, so that'll basically keep us from getting washed out by the waves and stuff when a storm comes. So if we can just pick a spot somewhere right back here, we'll probably do that later in the day. Let's go find some boar first. Now to navigate, again, we're not using anything fancy here. We're just going to stick to the basics. We will do fancy stuff later, but for now we're just going to go along the coastline because that's the safest way to do it. We still need to collect deer. Now we've got 3 types of beet that should, whoa boy, that should put us north of 100 hit points. So that, I think we'll be able to tank just about anything here in the meadows. So there we go. Yeah, we need to collect, I think the primary source is leather scraps. That's the main thing we need to look for. We still need to get a few other minor things, but we'll come back when we find another chunk of boars. Here we go. And then we'll level up our sneak a little bit. We need to get that up to 20 anyways before we move on. So might as well level it up now. Got him. Now, interesting, there's another inland river, so it splits up. Oh, actually, it doesn't go out to the... Oh, hello. It does not go out to the ocean, though. So this... I mean, it kind of points toward the ocean, so even if we were to use this to get back right here, if we just carry this line straight through, we'll run into the actual ocean. Yeah, so that's fine. We'll maybe use that later. But for now, let's stick to the actual ocean coast. Oh, more boars. Only one, though. I'd love to find a runestone that has boars all over it, rather than these one-offs, but we'll take what we can get at this point. Oh, I do like a clearing, though. This is nice. That looks like the dark forest, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that looks like dark forest trees over there. So we'll be careful as we approach. Make a mental note, going to the left. We can only go so far before we run into the dark forest. We could use that as well. Oh, here we go. You know, in between biomes is a decent way to navigate as well because it's pretty easy to see. Oh, no, they saw me. We do want to get the boar, though. There's some boar here. This is perfect. Yep. There we go. 2 more boar. So we need 20. Oh, is that a 1-star? That looks like a hefty one. Yep, there's a 1-star right here. Now I'm gonna leave him alone. Let's see if we can take him back. I'd like to start breeding if we can. Are you not gonna cooperate or what? There we go, we got him. So let's see if we can take him back. It's gonna be a bit of a journey. Yeah, this was not on my list, but it's not that easy to find starred boars, at least in my experience. I don't know. So like when you find one, you should probably do your best to capture it. So essentially what we're going to do is bring it back. Then we need to build an enclosure, feed it so that it starts to tame. And then we bring in another boar for it to breed with. And then when they start making 1-star babies, we'll have a nice little boar farm that we can get reliable sources of leather and meat. Man, we are way far out from home, but we should be all right. I don't want him to go in the water because that slows him down way too much. These things are idiots and they'll go way far out. Here we go. So here's our home. Do we have enough to make an enclosure? Not really. Let's go pick up some of our wood that we have already. That should be more than enough. So we'll have to build it a little further away from the coast because it's going to be kind of near our home area. So right in here should be fine. Oh no, did he run away? You're kidding me. What the hell is this guy doing, man? Okay, well, we lost our boar. That sucks, dude. We brought him all the way back. All right, let me build the enclosure and then see if we can find him. Okay, so here's our boar enclosure. And what we want to do is open the door from the inside so it's easy to close. So we lure him in here, we run around, close the door behind when he's locked in, and then we'll throw some food in there for him. We do not have any berries. Let's go grab some berries and preload it. All right, so we've got our trap, we've got our bait. Now we just need our boar. Yeah, that would have been challenging to do with him chasing us, but we definitely was still doable. Is that him? Oh yeah, he didn't. Nope, that's a different boar. No, these are non-starred boars. He must have gone all the way back. So anyways, we'll keep collecting. Oh, kids were calling. So where were we? I think we were looking for that boar. Take some feathers. All right, I'm gonna try to find the boar. We'll come back when we spot him. Yeah, there it is. That's probably him right there. You big beefy bastard. Yep, there he is. Okay, let's get him in. Hopefully, this better be worth it, man, because that's a lot of work. Like, I'm offering you a chance to survive, dude, and you're just actively trying to get killed. Okay, here we go. We're coming up to our base. Don't give up, boar. We're so close. You have some raspberries waiting for you. A whole stack. Here he comes. Yep, he's gonna go for it. Nice, we got it. All the way in. All the way in. Got him. And now we get back. A little far away. We'll go into sneak mode. He's gonna beat on the doors for a little bit and the walls and stuff, but he should chill out in just a minute. Sweet, so we got ourselves a 1-star board. That's a good start. Now we need to make sure we secure a supply of raspberries regularly so we can feed him. Yeah, there he goes, beating on the doors. But he should chill out in a sec. Did we? Oh, we picked up the raspberries. We have to throw him back in there. Shoot. Right, we'll wait for him to calm down and then we'll throw him back in. Right, he seems to calm down. Let's see if we can throw the raspberries over the top. Nice, perfect. They're in there. Once he eats that and he's calm. So yep, there he goes. So taming process has started. So he should be good. We're good. Let's go back out before we run out of daylight. Yeah, we can put some of this stuff down and then we'll go back out hunt again. We need to start clearing some of this area. So maybe right before it gets dark, we'll do that. All right, there we go. So he should be taming. As long as we're a certain distance away from him, we'll continue to tame. Once we get far enough away, it'll stop. But then when we get back in the area, it'll start again. So not a big deal. I'm not going to worry about it too much. Let's head to the side of this little river area, because we already went up the coastline a couple times. Yeah, here we go. Let's get some deer. Perfect. Ideally, we want to get more boar, though. So hopefully we can spot some. But yeah, that's what we're going to do till evening. Then we'll come back, clear out a little bit of land, and then we'll figure out what we're going to do tomorrow. Now, one thing, when we spot good resources out in the wild, I'm going to mark them out just a little bit. So this is very easy to spot them from a distance, so we know there's raspberries here. And if we come across mushrooms, we'll do the same thing. And then eventually, when we start building our map, we'll make it so that we can get to these pretty easily. There's a big clearing here, and I do like that it's on a hill, which means it's pretty easy to find our way back to the water line. So I wouldn't mind messing around here. Yeah, there's some boar, and then there's some boar down there. So let's clear these. We'll get a nice view over the top of the hill. If we're lucky, we'll find another 1-star, but I doubt it. Let's get in close. Snipe one of these. There we go. Man, I'm terrible at this game. There we go. So 2 more boars. It's starting to get dark, so we need to head back. I think maybe we'll save clearing the area around our new base for tomorrow. Don't think I would necessarily want to do that. But we are finding some pretty good raspberry deposits. We made it back to our area. See how our little boar is doing. So we'll check on him once in a while. I know we didn't have much time near him to tame, so probably kind of a waste to check. We just stole his raspberries. Right, that's not what I meant to do. Throw these back in. Go. Yeah, why don't we... I know it's getting dark and late, but we'll just clear a little bit, and then we'll head in, cook some meat before bedtime, check our stats, and then we'll call it a night. So we're up to 21 leather and 10 deer hides, so that's pretty good. We can put a deer hide inside, actually. There's a little thing you can make, and we got 2 honey. We'll start saving up some honey. I do like to use honey, actually, quite a bit, but I'd rather use the 3 meats for now. So in here, we can put down this deer rug. That's going to increase our comfort level up to 5. Perfect, and that'll give us an extra minute of rested state. So we want to get that as often as we can. What do we need for our upgrades? I think maybe next day we should focus on these. So we'll get the chopping block, we'll get the tanning rack going, leather scraps we only need 20, so we can definitely do both of these. And then we can start producing some higher tier items. Let's go ahead and do some cooking. Do we want to cook all of this? Probably not. Let's cook maybe 4 of each. So while that's cooking, let's go ahead and check out our stats here. Running at 13, fist at 15, so we're really close to having that capped out. Maybe another 2 days or so. Wood cutting at 14. Clubs are catching up at 6. Spear at 13. Yeah, like I said, that one's going to take off. So we probably need to stop using spears so much and try to rely on some of the other skills. It's just so easy to use them and they're really good. But for the sake of the long run, we do need to practice our other skills. So anyways, I think that's pretty much it. I'm going to finish this up. We'll go to bed and that'll be end of day 3. Here we go, starting day 4. And on our agenda for today, we are going to finish taming that 1-star boar. That should be pretty easy to do. We just need to be in the area long enough for that to happen. So that's kind of a gimme. The next thing is we need to build at least one workbench upgrade. So to do that, I think the easiest one is going to be the chopping block. So 10 wood, we have 10 flint. Let's double check the flint. Maybe we can just do that and knock it off our list. We can actually. So 10. And then we don't need that. Let's go ahead and grab 10 wood. And we'll put this one right near this tree, because why not? There we go. So we got a level 2 workbench now. That unlocks new crafting recipes. It also, yeah, leather, a bunch of leather stuff. It also allows us to upgrade some of these items. So we'll probably want to do that at some point. Flint and leather scraps. Yeah, we want to probably get our axe, the hammer, some of the stuff that we use all the time. The flint spear would be really good to upgrade as well. But we can worry about that later. So that's the other thing we already knocked off the list. So flex, if we can get all our work done early, I'd like to work on the second workbench upgrade, but we don't need to do that yet. And then the other thing we want to work on is clearing the base area. It's a little risky because if we knock the trees down, it could crush our little boar here. So we got to be careful and make sure that we jump on it to fall away from our pen. So we'll start working on that. So let's start clearing these trees closest. And then as it starts to fall, you can kind of run and jump on it and like nudge it that way gently. And then because we're going to be building here permanently, let's get rid of the stumps. So this today, day 4, probably going to be a little bit more on the boring side. So we'll probably do a lot of cutting. Oh, crap. Oh, man, I don't know what just saved our pen here, but this thing was going right for the pen and then it changed direction at the last second. It must have spazzed out on something right here on the ground. But anyways, yeah, our pen got spared at the last second, so we should be good there. Got a few more trees that are kind of in the danger zone, but we should be done soon. All right, I forgot to eat my food. We're getting hit by this grayling. It'd be embarrassing if we died to it, so let's go and eat our food. Get our health back up to a normal amount. Especially now that we're cutting trees down. We don't want to be low health when we're doing that. So that one's going the right way. Perfect. Ooh, and they're starting to combo on each other. So yeah, I'm going to clean some of this up. We'll come back when we're ready to just maybe start building. All right, this is getting pretty sketchy here. We've got trees leaning on other trees that are about to fall. So I don't want to be underneath when that thing comes down. Yep, there goes a couple more. I mean, it is nice not having to cut down all these manually, but it is definitely sketchy. Like, that one's just going to fall straight down. Yep. Oh, yeah, there's so much debris on the floor. There's nothing for them to hit other than other trees, so that's actually helping out quite a bit. We ran out of our rested buff, so we need to come back home, get that going. Yeah, I don't think we're going to do anything too interesting this day. I think we're mostly just going to finish clearing, getting a bunch of wood stockpiled. You can see here we've already stacked up a massive amount of these. These are 50 each, and there's, I don't know, there's probably like 10 of them in there maybe. And then there's still a lot of stuff to clear out, so we should have plenty of wood to build a nice starter base. And then we need to get walls for protection, because we're probably going to get raided soon. The raids right now, not really a big deal, but I think as you beat the bosses, the raids start coming harder and harder, so we do have to plan and prepare for that. It is nighttime. I forgot to pick this stuff up. Let me grab this, and then we'll head back, put all of our wood. Yeah, we've got a decent amount of it. Let's check and see how our boar's doing. We can, if he looks at us, this is going to be a problem, but so he's 86% tame. Yeah, he's almost done. Let's get away so he doesn't get aggroed here. So that, we didn't quite finish it today, but that should finish up by tomorrow, no problem. And we are ready to start building. We've got probably, I don't know, 500 to 700 wood. So that should be good. Yep, that should be plenty. Okay, so that's it. Let's go in, repair our stuff, and then we'll start preparing for tomorrow. We don't need to cook anything. We're good with that. Yep, everything looks good. We should probably craft some more armor so we don't get jumped. So between the food and the armor, I think we'll have a pretty good chance of surviving everything in the meadows. Let's take a look at our stats. Running, 15, fist, 18. So 2 more levels, we'll have that. Wood cutting, we're blue plastered already, but we kind of knew that was going to happen. And then all the other stuff is going to slowly tick up. Crafting should jump up nicely here when we build a big building, either next turn or the turn after. I'm not 100% sure yet, but we'll start taking care of that. And then I need to think about what we want to accomplish for next turn. So let's go to sleep. That is end of day 4. We are starting day 5. The goals for today, we want to craft armor, a bow, some arrows, and a knife. So we'll get a bunch of these things crafted. Actually, I should probably throw a shield on there. We'll craft a wooden shield if we have enough. So we need to get our rag trousers. That'll be our 3rd armor item. So we have enough for that. The bow, we need 8 leather scraps. We should have enough for that as well. And then the knife, the flint knife, we should have enough for that as well. So let's go grab flint and wood and whatever leather scraps we have. Yeah, that should be plenty. And then we just need a little bit of wood on us. So we'll do that. I'd like to lure in another boar for breeding. And then I'd also like to start building the main base. So I think those 3 things, those 3 categories are what we'll work on today. So rag trousers, that's going to give us 3 armor. Put that on. Puts us up to 3. That's a huge difference. Not really that big of a deal in the meadows, but, you know, nice to have. So we want that. We want a crude bow. Some arrows. We don't have a whole lot of wood. Let's go grab some more wood because I do want to get a full stack of arrows. Or at least maybe like 40. Yeah, this should be fine. Let's do 60. That's more than enough. And then the last thing I want to craft today is going to be a wooden shield. So we need resin and wood. Let's go get those 2. Now we have a massive amount of resin, so I'm happy to be using it finally. Here we go. Let's get a couple more arrows. We'll just get a full stack. And then wooden shield. Oh, nope. I wanted to have a design on it, but we're going plain brown. I forgot, how do you cancel when you're crafting? I think there's a way to do it. I just don't remember. And tell me about shields. Perfect. Yeah, we already know about that. Okay, so we've got armor. Yeah, we can put some of this stuff back. Oh, you know what? We didn't craft the dagger, and also we should be eating. So let's make sure we get our rested bonus. We'll eat, get that back to full. What do we need for the knife? Flint knife. We need 4 flint and 2 leather scraps. We have plenty for that. There we go. Flint knife. So that's all the crafting we need to get done for today. That's what I had on my list. So we're good there. Next is going to be luring another boar and then finally starting the main build for our big base. So I don't quite know where we'll do it. We'll worry about that later. Yeah, the boar's ready. Tame. Nice, so we can pet. Now I am going to rename, this is going to be the rune boar, because we want to eventually cull this one just in case there's something weird with the AI. Sometimes they do some funky stuff. So you stay in here and we'll bring you a mate. Yeah, I'm not quite sure where we'll build our base. Maybe somewhere where we're not going to be bothered by these trees that we can't cut down yet. And go a little further back so we're slightly more uphill. Somewhere around here maybe. I don't know. We'll see. We'll figure it out. But let's go back and see if there's any other boars we can grab from back here. Now we don't need a 1-star boar to breed, but this one we just need any boar. Also, we did use a lot of our flint. We should be collecting that because we need that for the next workbench upgrade. So we'll start grabbing those on the way back. We're back here by that boar runestone, so they should spawn some boars here. Maybe they need more time. So we did just kill them all and then capture the 1-star. Yeah, I'm not sure how that mechanic works. Like if we capture one, does that pull their spawns? I'm not quite sure about that, but we'll have to keep looking. And we still need some fists XP. We'll keep building that up. And after that, we'll probably switch to the club, maybe the knife, and we need to level these up kind of evenly. Okay, so on we go, looking for more boar. All right, we're coming up upon an abandoned building or a village, it looks like, so we might get the opportunity to get some bees. So fingers crossed we can get one. And yep, it's right across from the Black Forest. So we got to be very careful here not to aggro any of the animals from there, any of the monsters, because that could be the end of the run. Also, I do want to get some of this core wood. We'll just break this whole thing down, because every time I come across one of these, if I've already seen it before, I have a hard time remembering if I had searched it or not. So we'll just destroy everything. All right, let's go check it out. How many buildings we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So odds are pretty good that we're going to get something here at least. Let's take out this boar first. And then we'll go building by building. I don't know if we have enough storage space to bring all this stuff back, so maybe we'll just check it first. So nothing in this one. No beehive, but we do have a chest. Take all that. Nothing in the third one. Nothing. We got a chest in the fourth one, but no beehive, unfortunately. So 2 more. Nothing in this one. And does not look like a beehive in this one. So unfortunately, this village was a bust. That's all right. But let's go take a look and see what we got. So Black Forest. And I do like that there's a meadows here. So plenty of room to see. We can see our backdrop. Like I said, I don't really want to get caught and chased down. Oh, it's like we're spotted anyways. Let's get rid of him real quick. There we go. Is this a copper node? I don't think so. No, it's a regular node. So we did reach the Black Forest. We're not going in it yet, other than to get rid of this stupid bird. And then we'll back out. Like I said, we're gating ourselves from going in there until we clear the meadows 100%. So let's get back to work. I do want to see where the edge of this Black Forest goes, so we'll run it all the way down to the coastline. Alright, here's a pack of boar. See if there's any 1-star. It doesn't look like it. So we'll cull one of them down. And then see if we can bring this one back. Yep, I think that's the plan. That's the edge of the map that we want to go to anyways. We don't want to go in the Dark Forest or Black Forest. So let's just go back. Come on, Piggy. We got a long way to go. We're halfway there. He's still following. Yeah, I'm worried he's going to turn back. We should have plenty of wood to build another enclosure if we want to. Because I don't know if I want to necessarily put him in with our main... I'm worried that he'll kill our 1-star. Once they go tame, they're just basically dead if they get attacked. Here we go. There's our base. Let's get ready. I'm just going to put him over here. On him. There he goes. All right, we got him, I think. Yep, we got him. Now we just need to give him a little bit of food. There we go. He's got some raspberries. I think we might have picked up this one's raspberries as well, so let's go throw him some. All right, there you go. So once that's done, we'll take down this wall in the center, and then they'll be able to breed. And we should be in very good shape there. So that is the second thing off our list. Now the last thing is start building the main base. So why don't we take a look? Where do we want to build this thing? So we're in range of the water anywhere up here. If we build right here, we're going to be on the kind of on a cliff. I don't know if that's such a good idea. We could even build on the cliff. That'd be an interesting one, but not really in the scope of this video. Oh my god, we're going to die to this thing, aren't we? There we go. Okay, back to the task. Let's figure out where we're going to build. Alright, so it looks like this one is starting to tame. I see the little hearts, so that's a good sign. Why don't we build maybe right over here? We can get a pretty healthy perimeter. The only thing we can't take down is that birch tree. And actually there's a stump for a birch right there as well. So yeah, maybe not. Maybe we'll go over here. Like right here, we'd have a lot of stuff to level out, but we could do it. We're probably going to level this entire area out anyways. So let's just start doing that. Now we'll be able to clear those rocks once we get to the Black Forest. Once we clear Ached here. But for now, we'll just have to live with them. So for the first build, we want to go something fairly large so we don't have to expand too many times. Or actually, I guess we could do small and then just do expansion, because it's kind of interesting to watch the progression of the expansion. It's just kind of annoying having to tear it down and rebuild it over and over. But for content's sake, maybe that's the right way to go. Yeah, because right now, we'd have to be mindful of this stuff anyways. So maybe we'll do like a 3x3 or a 2x3 or 2x4, something like that. Definitely want it off the ground. The only caveat there is we'd have to do with the fire. You know, let's just leave it on the ground, because then yeah, it's a pain to raise the ground when you don't have a pickaxe to make it exact. So why don't we do that? We'll get our fire placed, and then we'll base our building off of that. Okay, so there we go. We've got platforms to base it off of. So from here, we probably want to go 3, maybe a 3x4. That'll give us plenty of space. Still kind of small though. Right now, there's some weird, yeah, it kind of comes off the ground over here, so we don't really want that. Let's just put supports everywhere. Doesn't need it there, but probably needs it over here. Alright, I can't really see anything, so what I'm going to do is get some outline. We'll get this thing framed in, we'll go drop off inventory, and then we'll probably head to bed. Oh, we ran out of wood. Let's go grab. Alright, so there's our foundation. Probably needs stairs on it as well. Yep, there we go. So now we can get it smoothly. So perfect. We got our foundation. I'm going to do just a little bit more. And then we should probably go to bed before we get attacked. Alright, so there we go. We got some basic foundation set up, some structure. Like I said, I want to build these structures as realistically as possible. That'll go with the theme of kind of realistic survival. So you wouldn't be able to build like that. That would just fall over if you built it the way you can in game. But it does add a significant amount of wood cost. But that's all right. That's why we have all this wood. We spent time gathering that. So let's put all our stuff back. We'll check our stats. And then we'll go to sleep. Alright, so we're good. Let's go ahead and repair. And we'll start preparing for tomorrow. I'm not quite sure what we're going to do. But we do have plenty of food. So we don't have to worry about that. We're well supplied. We are in very good shape. Let's check our stats here. So running almost to 17 fists. Just about one more level. And then we can start focusing on something else. Yeah, same thing. Wood cutting is way over. We'll have to spend more time jumping, because that's only level 7. We probably need to do some swimming soon as well. We are near the coastline, so that should be pretty easy. Sneak at 8, and then spear at 15. Let's get knives up, probably clubs and axes. So I think we'll maybe do it in that order. So yeah, that's it. Let's go ahead and end day 5. Starting off here on day number 6. So here's what's on the agenda today. We want to upgrade some gear. I would love to upgrade some of these things that we're using a lot. So the flint axe gets used a decent amount. Haven't used the bow yet, so we'll hold off on that. The rag tunic and rag trousers are going to be outdated soon anyways, but we could upgrade it if we want. It's not that big of a deal. The flint spear for sure. This is probably a high priority. And then we haven't really used the shield that much, but that would be nice to have upgraded as well. This will carry through even to the next area. What else? There's a few things we need to craft still. The stag breaker. I don't think we're supposed to be crafting this yet, so we're going to hold off on that. We did get some core wood. That's probably why that's unlocked. So we won't do that. Tower shield we will do for sure. And then there's all the leather set for armor. But aside from that, I think we have everything. Well, and then we still have to get some of the arrows. So yeah, we can do some of these arrows. We'll start focusing on collecting feathers more too. That would be nice. Upgrade. And then another thing I want to do is upgrade the workbench. So this one requires flint, leather scraps, and deer hide. So we probably need to go at least collect some flint. Yeah, I think we have the deer hide. We don't have the leather scraps. We do actually have the flint, so we need hides. Yeah, we need to go hunting today. And then finally for today, I'd like to finish framing the new build. We're not going to be able to finish it, I don't think, but if we can just finish the framing for the walls and the roof, I think that would be a successful day. So why don't we head out? We need food. We already have our rested buff for a while. We kind of cleared that area. So going to the left, looking at the ocean, going to the left, we've kind of cleared. I do want to start getting some more. Oh, you stinky little bird. All right, we'll try and get them next time when they stand still for too long. Let's go this way this time. I don't think we went this way too far past where the little inlet is. So we'll see if we can spot some stuff. Here's some deer. We'll hunt along the way, but I think that's all we'll do. We'll collect any kind of food items we can come across. All right, there we go. That was a good hit. Okay, so we'll come back when we get something to cover. All right, this should be the last person, I think, with fists. No, we need one more. All right, never mind. Here we go. This should be the last one. No, it's It's gonna make us do it again, isn't it? Yeah, we're literally one more punch. Actually, can we punch a tree? No, I think it has to be an enemy. An enemy. All right, here we go. This is the last level for fist fighting. Yeah, there we go. We got it. So I'm gonna start using the club now instead. So for the next, the gray dwarfs will be using the club for everything. More boar. There we go, 2 down. So I think we have like 5 or 6, and we need to get up to 20. So we've got a long way to go. It might actually take us an extra day to clear that, especially if we include the upgrades to the armor. So if we do the armor upgrades, that's another 10. Oh, you were gonna interrupt my hunt, aren't you? We got a fish. Oh man, and he jumped out and then he jumped back in. I thought we had a pike. Coming up across a couple more abandoned buildings. We're pretty far away from our spawn. So if we need to, we could use these. Nice, there's some bees in here. Perfect. All right, now I do want to take this structure down so I don't look at it coming by next time and think, oh, I gotta check. But we'll just tear this one down. And then that'll spit the bees out anyways. So that's our second beehive. We probably want to get at least 4 going in the near future. No beehive in this structure. All right, so we're going to move on. Still looking for pigs, mostly. So there's another pretty big clearing here. Yep, there's some water. Oh, there's a bunch of boar. All right, that's exactly what we need. There's also another hut over there. That looks like it might have a beehive in it. Go check it out in a sec. Let's clear these nasty boar. Oh, you know what? Actually, we need our helmet, or we need our shield. See if we can parry these guys. Perfect. So shield's working well. We do need to get blocking up as well. That's one thing that I completely neglected and completely forgot about up to this point. So we'll start blocking a bunch of stuff. Yeah, having a good block skill is going to be really important when we start fighting really, really tough enemies. Because being able to block them and not having to rely on dodge roll is going to be nice. Right, here's that other ruin. Let's see. Please have a beehive. Does not look like it's got any bees. Nope, that's all right. All right, we're getting a little far away from home, and it's starting to the sun's starting to set now. So I don't know that we want to go too much further than this. We'll check this last building. It looks like there's an opening here. Yeah, there's a big opening in the meadow. So we'll check this out, and then we'll head back. Okay, we got some boar here. Let's clean these up. Oh my god. We got jumped by like 10 animals, but we got it. So it doesn't look like there's much here. I don't see any buildings abandoned or anything. Yeah, there's not much here. There is like a little inlet. I think it just ends right here. Yeah, it's just a little inlet. There's nothing else with it. So we'll have to call it off right here. I think what we might end up doing, if we can't find too many more boar where we're at, we'll set up a temporary home and shelter right here. And then we'll come out here to sleep, and it's raining. Nice. So we don't have rested, and it's rained on us. So we got to be a little cautious here. The one thing we can afford to give up is wood, so let's give that up. Yeah, we definitely need to start heading back. Okay, so we're going to follow the coastline. We'll head back home, and we'll come back when we're there. I don't know that we'll have time to do a whole lot else, but we will grab some raspberries. All right, I see a 1-star deer here. Let's focus on that first. Yep, that's a direct hit. Not going to be able to retrieve my spear, but what we can do is shoot. Oh, he saw it. Yeah, and we ran out of stamina. There's another 1-star deer. Let's see if we can get that one before we go retrieve our spear. Got him. All right, sweet. So we're coming back with a lot of stuff. Not quite enough what I was hoping to get today, but maybe my expectations were a bit unrealistic. Yeah, there we go. That's a lot. Got 1 full stack of deer and a little bit extra. You know what we could do? We could put a fire here. No, I don't have stones. Never mind. Let's just go. I was going to say we could build a fire, get our sheltered bonus. Let's just get back home. I don't like being out like this. But a 2-star deer here. Oh, we hit him. He's frozen in pain. No, we didn't hit him. We didn't get the kill. Yeah, he's going to get out. Oh, that sucks, man. He's got maybe one or two health left. Stupid deer. Well, there you go. We need to upgrade our spear for sure. That would have been a guaranteed kill if we had it upgraded. Can we let him think there's nothing to run from? Yeah, let's... Lucky shot? No, right between his legs. Okay, well, we need to get back home, so let's get out of here. And you can see now exactly what I was talking about. As soon as the storm hits, sea level rises, everything on the lowland gets wet, swallowed up. I really don't like dealing with that. It's pretty annoying. So we're going to go further up inland. Alright, we definitely should have come back sooner. This is not good. It's very dark, we're wet, it's cold. Our food's running out. Yeah, we need to eat. I didn't want to waste the food, but it's not worth dying at this point, so let's just waste the food. We'll go back. Oh man, look at that. That's a big wave. Alright, let's keep going. Alright, here we go. We finally made it back. There's our base. So let's see, is this thing putting out our fire? That was my big concern, but yeah, that's fine. It'll dry us off either way. Okay, we got actually a little bit of work to do. Let's go ahead and put some inventory away. We need more inventory here. Dude, we just got way too much stuff. Good problem to have, but let's put it away. We'll check out our stats and then sleep for the night. Before I forget, let's get this other beehive up so we can start generating honey. There we go. Yeah, getting a dedicated inventory system at the new area is going to be nice. Not necessary, but definitely something that stresses me out when inventory's everywhere. I do not like it. But anyways, we should be good here. Let's go ahead and check our stats and then we'll sleep. So running is almost at level 20. Fists, we did finish off this turn, or this day. So that worked out pretty well. Clubs up to 12. I think that'll go pretty fast. And then, like I said, we can focus on knives and probably axes next. And then spears almost there, but just even throwing the spears, we'll get there. So that should do it. Yeah, blocking is only level 3. We might have to figure out some other way of doing that, because that's going to level up a bit slower than I want. But anyways, end of day 6. Starting off day 7, we didn't really finish what we had set out to do yesterday, so why don't we try and finish some of that. Hopefully it's not raining. Yep, it's not. So what we could do is try to finish our build up there at the very least. Let's go and grab some more wood. So I'd like to build this too tall, not as in like, oh, this building's too tall, but 2 units tall. So like that. That'll give us a little bit of vertical room to work with. And now how do we want this to be laid out? Probably have storage in these corners. I think that would be nice. We could have bed on one side, a workshop on the other. Eventually we're going to split these off and we'll have a dedicated house and a dedicated workshop. But for now, I think it makes sense just to put both here for now. And then eventually we'll expand out. Headboard should go against the wall. So what kind of psychopath puts their footboard against the wall and the headboard out in the open? Yeah, we'll figure this out. I just wanted to get a decent layout there, and then we need to get the roof figured out. It's not all that useful. Let's go ahead and do one maybe in the center, or maybe at least a little closer. Do we want the steep? I don't think we need the steep. We can do the shallow one. So there's a 45 and a 26. Well, first off, why don't we just frame the outside all over? It's probably easier if I just do this. So there's our frame. Now, how do we want this to go? That thing is hideous, so we're not doing that. We don't have any wood. Let's go get some wood and we'll think about it. Also, how's our boar doing? This one's not quite tamed yet, so probably by the end of today it will be, and then we should be fine. Yeah, let's go with the more shallow one, the 26. So we'll put both of those right here. And then we need to make sure we take care of the chimney. I'm not sure yet. Let's just get the obvious beams out. Okay, so there's most of what we're going to do. And then I think for the center, this should hold just fine. We need to get our X. So shallow X, do the same over here. I don't know if that's enough ventilation though. That might be a problem. Well, we'll see. Let's see what it does. All right, so that is our ventilation. We'll also have it at this. We'll leave these two parts open, and then that should be enough. So let's go ahead and cover the whole roof. We'll fill this in between, and then we're pretty much done with our build. Let's also frame this. We'll frame the fireplace just to make sure we can kind of keep the smoke moving in the right direction. I don't want it to fill all this area. There we go. So the smoke should go all the way to the top. Yep, and it's going to rest right in that little channel on both ends. I don't mind if the ceiling gets smoky. I just don't want the bottom part, obviously, because then we'll suffocate. So there we go. There's our chimney. Let's go ahead and fill in everything. We'll put a big door in for this one, and then a half wall to cover the top. So that should be fine. Yeah, those small doors are a little claustrophobic. There we go. There's the build. I might build a balcony, a little bit of an awning here, just to cover the sides. I don't know. It just looks, I mean, it's ugly, but it's very functional, which I'm okay with. At least we got a big door. So yeah, this works perfectly. You know, I wonder, can we or should we plug that top so that it really stays up there and goes out that back side? I don't know that really makes that much of a difference. Why is this thing going out? Okay, we also need to place our crafting here for food. So let's get that going. Yeah, so we can do an overhang right here so we'll get a little bit of coverage during a heavy storm. Probably put storage bins out here or something. Do a little attached storage on the outside. That'd be kind of nice. There we go. That doesn't look too bad. A little lopsided though, so let's go ahead and even it out. Alright, so that is done. Now we probably want one to extend out on the front as well. So why don't we use some beams? Okay, there we go. So there's a front awning. Gives us a decent amount of coverage. We could add more to the back. It will mess with the smoke a little bit, I think, but I don't know. Maybe it's not that big of a deal. Let's see. Is that messing with our smoke? Nope, we're still not getting smoked out, so this should be fine. All right, that looks good. That used up a tremendous amount of our wood, though. So we went through almost all of our stacks here. We've got like 3 left, 2 left. Yeah, not much. But, oh yeah, that looks hideous. I'm good with it, though. I am totally good with it. But I'm not good with the inventory system that we have. So let's go ahead and fix that. So we'll build some attached units right here. Right, yeah, I think this is... We could do it in the front, too. But I think maybe in here makes the most sense. I'm not quite sure how to do this part, but you know what? We'll just leave it like this. Let's throw some chests down, and then we'll adjust it later. I do like to do sideways. I know this looks better, but this is... You can fit way more in by doing it like this. So we'll set our sideways. Maybe 2. Yeah, 2 per thing. We could probably fit a lot more than that if we want. Yeah, let's go for max volume here and just spam these things. Ooh, boar is tamed. Nice. So our second boar is tamed. We need to delete the partition between the two so they can go ahead and bump nasties. Make little boar babies. Look at that. Tight fit. That is perfect. Yeah, we'll run with that inventory system. We can get a second shelf here and a third shelf. And then it's all still covered. Actually, are we covered if we go? No, we're not. The inventory's covered. That's what's important. So let's get in here and fix this. Actually, we need... Yeah, let's grab some wood here. Alright, so what we want to do is replace this. Perfect. And then get rid of these. You guys can now do your thing. We need to not pick up the berries, though. So let's go ahead and drop that. Perfect. Okay, there we go. So they've got food, they've got room, everything they need to make babies. And then eventually we'll clear out the no stars, and we'll be left with just 1 stars, and then we'll have a fully functioning farm. Ideally, we would get 2 stars, but I don't know that we ever will, to be honest. They're pretty hard to find. I actually don't know that I've seen one since I've been playing with my kids in this game. Probably back in the day when I started, I did, because I put like 100 hours in, but yeah, they're super rare. Anyways, let's start moving inventory up here. Yep, we need to move everything up here. And then we'll probably just tear this whole thing down, get some of our wood back. Also need to relocate the upgrade. So why don't we do that? And then on this side, why don't we keep our wood stock, our wood piles, and then the stone piles we'll keep over here. So at least it's out of the rain. Not that it matters, but you know, in real life, you would have done that. Oh, we're getting raided. We need to eat. Oh crap, they caught us without food. All right, so we're gonna go spear and shield. See if we can... Yeah, there's only one so far. Oh, nope, there's more. All right, there's one down. Let's see if we can get this guy parried. Nope, that's all right, we got him. All right, yeah, these raids are pretty easy. Not too worried about this one, but next level is going to be much harder. Well, I actually kind of like these early raids because they bring food and much needed leather. Oh, here they go. Spear's getting leveled up nicely. There we go. There's another boar off in the distance. 2 more coming in. Yeah, this should be no big deal. Alright, so they're done. Let's go talk to our bird. Oh, never mind. Yep, there he goes. Monster. Yep, we know. Okay, let's, I'm gonna keep moving stuff over, and then we'll go check our stats before we sleep for the night, and then we'll figure out what we're gonna do tomorrow. That was a good day. We got a lot done. So we're gonna take down this building. We don't need it anymore. It's just blocking our view of the ocean. So we'll take it down and probably repurpose this area later. Maybe this can be like a forge or something. We need a docks. We need a dock area. And then, oh yeah, this tree's holding the whole place up. That's kind of funny. So we'll need a dock in a place not too far where we process all the ore and stuff when we come off the ships. So, yeah, we'll deal with that in time. I did hear a pig squeal. We got a baby. It is a no star. So that one's getting wrecked when it grows up. Alright, so there we go. We cleared everything from here. Let's go ahead and pull everything back. And then we need to go to sleep. Definitely getting late. Okay, there we go. Got everything moved finally. Let's see where we're at. So running is almost level 20. That's really good. That's a good one to have. It increases your speed and reduces your stamina drain. So getting away is going to be super important. Blocking didn't really go up, unfortunately. Clubs a tiny bit. Crafting went up to 10. That's not as much as I thought it would be. Yeah. Okay, well, we're going to have to focus pretty hard. Maybe spend a day or two just focusing on leveling these things up at some point. But I think for now, that's pretty good. We'll go to sleep. I'm going to figure out what we need to do for tomorrow's daily goals. All right, here we go, starting day 8. Today, I think the main goal should be to upgrade some items. So I'd like to get the flint axe upgraded. We aren't going to be able to do the club because we don't have access to bone fragments till we go to the other area. We could do the flint knife upgrade. That should be pretty easy. The wood shield, the spear for sure. So some of the stuff that we have in our inventory we'll try to upgrade. And then before the end of the night, I would love to get this tanning rack done. I don't know if we can, but we'll try. See how much leather scraps we have. Or maybe we do that first and then the tools later. I know it's not the most practical to do that first, but so we'll try it. So let's see, we need that. Yeah, we do have enough actually. So that, and then I think just some wood. Yep, we do. Okay, sweet. So we'll do it backwards, but that one's just easier to remember anyways, what's needed. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw this back here, if it'll let me. Yep, there we go. Dry out that that hide. So now we have access to, well, I don't know that that really changed a whole lot, but we can start upgrading from here. So let's go ahead and do the flint axe. That'll help us gather wood. We can do both upgrades for that. Should probably do the spear, and I messed up on that. Let's go gather some flint real quick. Yeah, let's go gather some flint. I'm just going to go patrol the coastline, just try and get as much flint as we can. I know we picked a bunch of it, but there should still be a little bit left. Oh, we just got that 2-star deer. Yeah, that thing that was harassing us earlier. Got out with almost no health. Now he's dead. So a bunch of deer stuff. Alright, let's keep focusing on flint. also going to try to keep blocking, so when these next come around, we'll block once. I don't want to cheese it and just stand there and block to gain XP, but every time we come up against an easy opponent, we'll try and get at least one block in and then wipe them out. Yeah, because our block skill is taking a bit of time to level up, and I would like to get that up to 20 before we fight Iktir. Probably not necessary, but would be nice. So we made it out to this little island. No beehive, unfortunately, but yep, this was the one that we had seen a while back, thinking maybe this could be a good spot. It's pretty small, but I guess we could probably still make it work, but I don't want to really be on the coastline, so we'll pass. We will take the stuff in the chest and move on. So what was that? Money, feathers, and some arrows. Right, I think I spent enough time collecting these things. We've got 38, so that should be enough for all the upgrades we need. The only thing we won't be able to craft a ton of, I feel like, are going to be arrows. There's a set of arrows that do require flint, but oh, you know what? We're still getting a bunch. Oh, we came across another area that had a bunch, and we're over encumbered. Not a problem. We'll drop a couple rocks. Okay, let's head back if we don't have room for anything else anyways. But yeah, we've got now 43 flint. That's going to be more than enough for quite a while. We've got 4 leather scraps that we didn't have before. We held on to our deer hides, so that's stuff that we already owned. Let's grab some blocking XP. Oop, never mind. Doesn't count if you block with your face. It's starting to rain, so we're definitely going straight back. We're overburdened anyways, so yeah, we're just going to run straight back. All right, we did hit level 20 running. I think we're at 21 now, actually. So rather than gaining a bunch of levels and running, we'll slow it down a little bit. We'll just jump our way back. I know it doesn't help us get there sooner, but we need to get that jumping skill leveled up, so mine as well. We're back home. Let's go ahead and reorganize all of our inventory. We'll check on our piggies, and then we'll figure out what we can upgrade. Actually, you know what? We should probably upgrade stuff first before we put things back. So let's go in, dry off, and we'll get working here. So we can upgrade the flint spear. That one needs to go first. Preferably 2 upgrades if we can. Yep. Now that should be max level. No, we can upgrade it again. We need to get to 4. I don't even know what 4 is. Why don't we do the hoe? We'll do that 2 levels. That's a max upgrade though. Yeah, perfect. The hammer as well. We'll only be keeping the 1 hammer, so might as well upgrade it all the way. So that's good. The flint knife we can upgrade, as well as the wood shield. The wood shield is much more useful to us right now, so we need more resin and more leather scraps. Let's go grab our inventory and get rid of this intruder. What are you doing here, dude? Alright, so we need resin and leather scraps. I don't know if we even have any left. I think we grabbed them all. Yeah, so we might have actually used all the scraps that we have. We have 1 left. What else can we upgrade? I think we can upgrade that knife. Flint knife only requires flint. We got tons of that, so let's do that a couple times. Perfect. We can get that up to 4, apparently. Is there even an upgrade? Yeah, there's nothing here, so there's something that we haven't discovered yet that we can use to upgrade it further. So we'll have to figure that out. But let's go ahead and put all of our stuff back. And what else did we want to do? We upgraded the workbench. We upgraded most of our gear. Hammer, hoe, spear, axe. That's what I had on my list. We pretty much did that. So might not be a bad idea to start gathering more resources, because we did use all of our wood last time. We could use some more wood. All right, let's go ahead and collect. Actually, how are we doing here on the piggies? So there's, oh, nice. We have a 1-star pig. And then there's the no-star pig. Yeah, that's fine. So we had 1 more piggy since we were gone. So that is working out pretty well. Once that grows up, we'll cull all of the no-stars to make sure they're not eating any of our food. Because we do have kind of a limited supply. So we want to make sure the best ones are getting our food. Let's not focus on deer. Let's focus on gathering wood. I think we'll do that for the rest of the night. Let's go ahead and chop the little branches. So I'm thinking we can use all this wood. Let's gather as much as we can before nighttime. We'll use this wood to build a wall around this area. I would like to wall it off. These raids, the Greylings just kind of wandering in, that's not going to work. Not for me. So we'll go ahead and change that up. But it's going to take a ton of wood to wall off this large of an area. Maybe we'll start small. We'll just wall off our house and our animals. And then as we expand, we can maybe change the walls and expand their location, put them out a little wider. We could do that. That might actually be kind of fun. So anyways, let's get back to chopping wood. Yeah, they're definitely intruding more regularly now. And they're upsetting the pigs. So, not acceptable. We'll definitely build a wall next turn. Or next day. Alright, it's getting kind of late. I think we should probably call it a night. So why don't we go turn in what we have, get some sleep. We'll check our stats first, and then we'll get some sleep. There we go. Everything's put away. Let's come back in here. What happened to our... Oh, it's out of fuel. I thought we maxed that thing out. It should last a decent amount, but that's alright. Let's put... Yeah, if it's going to keep going out fast, I guess we'll just put one in per night. Okay, there we go. We'll repair everything. Let's check our levels. So we've got, yeah, running past level 20. Jumping is at 10, so halfway there. Clubs at 16, nearly 17. So that one's going to go soon. And then we can start working on our axe or knives. Spear's pretty close. Yeah, cooking. We would have to cook all the food we have, and I really don't want to do that. So this one we might forego until we can spam stuff, because we do need to have some uncooked meats for recipes that we'll use at some point. So we don't want to pre-cook all of that. But yeah, the levels are looking pretty good. Sneak we can work on. We haven't really been using that too much. Same thing with bow. Bow should be used a bit more. And then swimming we need to get down there and use. But aside from that, I think our stats are looking pretty good. So let's go ahead and get some sleep. I need to think about what we want to accomplish tomorrow. All right, starting off day 9. What we should probably do is build our palisade wall system like I was mentioning, but also we can move past this armor. I don't think we need to spend upgrades on it. We have a ton of deer hide. I don't think we have much to spend it on, so we need 6, 6, and 6. So why don't we go do that? We'll get some better armor first. Yeah, we're getting harassed by these guys pretty consistently now. Looks like they ate all their food. Let's go and throw a little bit in. We got 2 1-star piggies. Perfect. When a couple of them grow up, we'll start culling the big ones. We won't need them anymore. Let's go grab our deer hide. Okay, we got plenty. So 32. We're going to need only 18 to craft the stuff. Yeah, look at that. So tunic. This is going to double our armor. Tunic, helmet, and trousers. We might even be able to upgrade. Go and switch over here. And that takes us up to 6. Perfect. And then can we upgrade? We cannot. So what do we need for this? It's going to require bones. That's fine. That one might be worth doing, but that's okay. All I wanted was the full armor set, so we're in much better shape now. Let's go ahead and put that back. Put our armor away. We want to hang on to it just until we clear the biome, just to prove that we built one of everything, and then we can toss it at that point. There's a 1 life, so if we die, we're not going to need armor to get back here. We're just not going to be coming back. So piggies are doing good. Let's go figure out how we want to do our wall here. So I'm thinking we trace it out. We can use our hoe to trace it out. We'll have a little bit of space for expansion, but I think we need to build it fairly tight. Otherwise, it's going to use a tremendous amount of wood. It's already going to take a lot of wood. But yeah, so let's start doing that. So we're just going to trace it out roughly like this. And then we can kind of fix it later if we need to. There we go. So we're coming around, completing the circle. Perfect. So now we've got the route that we want our wall to go around. This might be a little janky. Let's try and smooth that out a bit. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so we'll come through here. That'll give us a little bit of room to expand if we need to, but worst case scenario, we could just replant the wall somewhere else. So let's go ahead and grab some of the wood that we have. I know we've got a bunch in the back here. Our food is running out. Let's eat so we don't get ambushed. All right, so we're placing palisades or stake wall. So we'll start up here and we'll try to make it straight as possible when we can. Yeah, that looks really good. We also need to figure out where we're going to put our doors, the gates, how many gates we want. How's that looking? That looks really good, actually. Yeah, that'll hold. So we'll get a nice wall around the whole thing. We're halfway there. We're just about out of wood, but that's fine. We have plenty of wood stocked up. And then we'll come through and bust the walls down where we want to put the gate. I just don't know where it is yet, so we'll take a look once it's all set up. We're just finishing up, and then we'll have to figure out where we're going to put the gate, and that's not going to line up perfectly, so we'll just do a free-floating one. Something like that. That's fine. Okay, so gate. Or maybe... yeah, probably more than one gate. We probably want to have one on this side and one on that side. So I think naturally this looks like a pretty good spot for a gate. Do we want a double gate or just the one? We don't have carts yet, so I don't think double gate's really going to help us with much. So I think we'll just keep it to single for now. We'll put one there, and then we'll also get one on this side. Here's something like right here. Yep, that looks good. Functioning, how are we looking on the outside? Let's go ahead and give us a little bit more buffer here. Right, that looks pretty good. So now we need to start making paths from here, since this is the entrance. Or it is for now anyways, I guess that can change. But we'll get a path going down here to the beach. There we go. And then we'll maybe make a dock system over there. Get some bridges to come up here to our main base. This whole area will turn into a base at some point, but for now, it's just going to be this. So pretty simple. Same thing on this side. Let's go ahead and make a path down to the beach. And then from here, we can make these paths out to any points of interest, making it easy to navigate. I don't want to put paths everywhere though, because if you have paths everywhere, that doesn't help you find out where you're trying to go unless you put signs up. And I don't really want to put signs up yet, but we'll at least get some paths around the water line here, connecting the two outside. Oh, one of our piggies came out. You are a no star, so I actually don't care if you get out, to be honest. There we go. So we've got a path from this side leading all the way to the other side and then off into the distance. And that should make it easy anytime we want to navigate on the water. If we're coming back and we see this, then we'll know that we've already settled this area. We'll know pretty much where we're at. Do we want to push him back in? Something spooking him? Yeah, why don't you go back home, little dude? Let's see if we can push him back in. Yeah, I have no idea how he got out. He must have been out before we built the wall. Right, there we go. Get in. Grow up. Actually, we could probably start culling some of the big ones. So there's two one-star boars that are big. Let's go ahead and kill off this one. So we need to allow friendly fire here. So we'll take this one out. There we go. So we don't want the no stars to be breeding. We do want them to grow up so that we can get some meat and stuff off of them. But I don't want them to be breeding and using resources. Yep, that looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and flatten out the rest of the inside of our base. We don't need grass. We'll just kind of flatten all this. There we go. So now it looks like a proper base. And one thing we could probably do is maybe enclose this. Yeah, why don't we do that? Let's build some shelter for these guys. Also, more importantly, so that our walls and door don't decay when it rains. Also, this door is not quite fit in. Dude, these stupid pigs. There we go. We'll build a little shelter for them. So we used a good chunk of our wood. We didn't use it all though, so we could build some more things if we need to. The only other thing we might want to do is maybe some torches. We have quite a bit of resin, so I wouldn't mind using some of it. Alright, so we've got lights placed around some important spots. I don't want to put it down here by the boars because they do get spooked by it. So we'll leave that alone. Got a couple outside the entrances so we can spot it from afar. Not that we'll be able to miss this gigantic wall of spikes. That should be pretty easy to spot from a distance. One thing we could do, we could build some guard towers so we can get some elevation and see what's going on the other side of the wall. Probably not necessary, but it would look cool. I think maybe we'll save that stuff for later. I know in the beginning it's going a little bit slow, but that's kind of by design. Making sure we're not getting over our heads in this this campaign. So let me throw some stuff down. We'll head to bed soon, I think. Okay, yeah, it's nighttime, it's cold, so not much else we need to do here. Let's get a resting bonus, and then we'll start tomorrow off strong. I need to figure out what we're going to do. So we did accomplish everything. We built the palisade walls around the house and the pen. We have a full set of leather armor, so up to 6. I'm going to poke around a little bit. But yeah, let's check our stats and then we'll go to bed. So clubs up to 17. We did a bit of crafting. That's up to almost 12. So that's actually moving along pretty nicely. Although I don't know that we're going to build too much more. You know what we do need to do actually is start building some temporary base, not temporary bases, but like outposts. I don't want to build full-on places where we're going to be building a full-on base, but areas where we can sleep for the night if we're going out. So that is one thing that I want to do, almost like a check-in station. Yeah, I mean, it's an outpost, so that's going to help us with crafting as well, I think. So anyways, yeah, that looks pretty good. What else do we want to upgrade? We obviously want to upgrade our armor, but we don't have bone fragments yet, so that's not going to work. We have most of these upgraded to max. I do want to get our bow leveled up some. I think that'd be a pretty good idea. And then the shield, we just need a little bit of leather scrap and resin. So I think for the most part, we could use, it's the same stuff as always, right? We need an infinite amount of deer hide and an infinite amount of leather scrap. So maybe that's what we'll do tomorrow. We'll go exploring, do something fun, something maybe a little bit more exciting. Let's get some sleep. So end of day 9. Starting off day 9. Oh, what happened to our fire? It's weird. This thing goes out and comes back in. It's probably not raining, so I don't know what's causing it to do that. Maybe I have it too close to a wall or something. But anyways, not a big deal. So today we are going exploring. I can't see my notes. There we go. We're going to go gather more leather and deer hides, and we're going to explore for suitable locations for outposts. We have plenty of food. Yeah, we'll need to eat again, but we have enough. So we'll cook again tonight when we get back. Maybe we'll hang out of this honey as like a backup food just in case we need a little extra stamina. But we should be good with what we have. So let's get out there. And yeah, so we want to hunt animals, but we also, I think, want to find spots where we can build a place to rest and get our rested state back up. So I think what we should do is pretty quickly go to the edge of the coastline. Well, the problem is we're going to have to stop to fight these guys. I kind of want to get the resting stations spaced out a certain interval, like maybe every 8 minutes of travel time. Even though we've got 11 minutes of rested state, I don't want to go the full length. Should be a little bit shorter. And we're just going to get attacked by everything. We need to level up our block, so we'll work on that today as well. But yeah, it should be pretty standard. We'll come back when we start getting to spots where we can set up an outpost. Right, so we've traveled along the coast. If you're looking at the water, we traveled to the left of our base. I don't know what direction that is. We'll probably have to make up some coordinates based on the tree, because I'm pretty sure the tree doesn't move. I want to say this is east-west, but I'm not positive. So yeah, we'll probably have to figure that out. But anyways, we traveled this way, which would have been north, and we are running up against the dark forest. So we got to be careful here. We'll take out the boar that's on the borderline here. But I don't think we don't want to... Oh, man. Yeah, we don't want to stay too close to the edge in case we get swarmed by big packs of gray dwarfs. But yeah, this would be a pretty good spot for an outpost then. Not right on the border, but maybe like kind of close to where that thing is. But let's just take a quick peek and see if there's any... Yeah, see, they spawn right there. So there's gray dwarfs all over. I was going to see if there's more meadows back there. Sometimes you get like a little pinch. Like a little pinch of dark forest, but I don't think that's what's going on here. I think this is a solid dark forest area. So we'll head back, clear some of the trees around it so we can see more clearly. And this bird is tempting fate. Good thing I'm terrible shot with this thing. So I think we'll set up an outpost right here. And I kind of want to go for something a little different with the outposts. See if we can get like a little tree house. Just something off the ground. We'll have to still put fire on the bottom of it so that we can still get the bonus. Alright, and I think we do want to make this along the coastline. Oh, gray dwarfs. Okay, so they're running away, fortunately, but they were starting to sneak up on me. Okay, let's start collecting some wood in the area. Like I said, we don't want to do anything too fancy here. We do, I think, want to get up the comfort level as high as we can. Oh, yeah, they're coming back again. Or at least one of them is. Nope, they're both coming. We should be able to handle that, but gotta be kind of careful. Alright, here we go. Alright, we can block the rock, no problem. Yeah, that block actually works pretty well. We can handle them. Even with this low tier level 1 mace or whatever club, whatever level this thing is. There we go. So we dealt with them. We got some gray dwarf eyes. Yeah, we'll take it. There we go. We hit our weight cap. So let's start building. Let's go and do it on this one. So what I had in mind, we need a crafting station. So if we were to build maybe some stairs and then another set of stairs that kind of goes like this up to it, we could make it work. Oh, these are gray dwarfs. All right, we gotta watch out. These are the big boys. Still not too bad. Yeah, 1 or 2, not a big deal. It's when they swarm you with 15 or, you know, whatever, however many, a bunch of them, that's when they become a problem. Right, we don't need it to be too high up off the ground. Enemies have a hard time hitting stuff at like chest height, let alone something this high. So let's just build it, and if we build it on the tree, it should be able to hold. So if we do it around, yeah, around there, the level that we have our ladder here, it should hold. Something like that. Perfect. So we don't, like I said, we don't need much. Maybe a 2x2. Now, if you can't quite get it to snap properly, sometimes if you sit down, yep, that one's anchored properly now. So we'll have a little bit of a stand just so it's not floating out there, because obviously that wouldn't work in real life. But if you did have something like this, we'll probably get one more right here, actually. Yeah, that works. Okay, so you can get up. You're safely off the ground. Now we just need to enclose it, get us a bed. What's going on with this? They're on top of each other. Okay, so I didn't do this right. Give me a minute, I'll be right back. That looks much better. So we'll get a 2x2 here. We'll get a fire underneath, and then that should give us rested bonus. Then we just need to get a few more deer so we can get another rug. I totally forgot to frame it properly, so let's rebuild it. Oh crap. We got a tier 2 Grey Dwarf coming. They haven't spotted me yet. Let's try and stay hidden. No, he saw me. Okay, can we get back to our base? Don't know if we can handle that. That's a lot of damage. Also, we should probably put a fire before we go up. That'll spook him off, hopefully. Yeah, we just took a rock to the head. Alright, I know they struggle going upstairs. Now let's try and get some walls up so we have a little bit of protection. There we go, we should be good. Yeah, that 2-star will probably one-shot, I think. So let's not mess with them. Hopefully they lose interest and go away. I don't know if we have enough wood to actually finish this. We still need to get a roof. Maybe we could just build a temporary and then we'll fix it. I'll fix it tomorrow or something. Actually, the 26 almond. Yeah, let's give ourselves a little more space here. There we go. So shelter, fire, we'll get our rested state, I think. Yep, there we go. Alright, I don't know what else we can do other than just hunker down here. We'll keep repairing so they don't knock everything down. And then hopefully they go away. One thing we could do is try and hit him with ranged. This Grey Dwarf. We can take the regular level 1. Maybe we take him down. Let's go ahead and eat our food. Top that off. We'll get full health and then we'll go down and see if we can deal with this. Because I don't think they're going to leave us alone. So we're going to have to man up. Where's that 2-star? He's still, yeah, he's still here. Alright, I'm going to come down. Stay near the fire. Yeah, I know they're not particularly fond of fire. So should help us a little bit. Get the other Grey Dwarf. Oh yeah, he's coming through. Right, let's try and get this one. Alright, there we go. One down. We could handle this guy if we just dodge and miss 3 attacks in a row. Right, we just got to be patient. There we go. He's about half. I want him to attack and then we can counter. That was close. I said the problem is I just don't know how much damage he'll do. It's probably not enough to one-shot, but I don't want to take a chance. There we go. We got him. Okay, that was an interesting fight for sure. We probably could have handled him earlier, but like I said, it is a permadeath run, so don't know that it's really worth taking silly risks. Now I do want to get a crafting table up here if we can. Maybe we just angle it slightly and then we'll have to kind of squeeze in and out, but that's fine. Yep, that works. And then as far as the fire goes, we could just leave it out. I mean, the monsters don't really bother fire. They can't attack it from what I understand. So I think we're good. We could just leave that. Right now, what else? Yeah, we need to get our rested boost. So let's do that. We'll take a look at our skills and then we'll sleep for the night. And then we need to go back. We have no business being around the Black Forest area. What do we got? Crafting up to 12. So we did level that up. Spear's almost ready to push over 20. Blocking is up to 8 now and pushing 9. So that's pretty good. Club's at 21. So club we can actually put away and level it up later. We'll start working on either knives or axes next. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we'll mix it up and do both. But yeah, that's going to do it for day 10. Let's go ahead and claim the bed and go to sleep. Okay, so we slept okay. Nobody bothered us. Starting day 11. Unfortunately, it's raining, so we will have to deal with that. But, oh yeah, we got a storm coming. So what I'm thinking for the goals on today's trip, let's go back home, drop all this stuff off. Oh, we're getting raided. Interesting. We can get raided right here. Well, we'll soak up the XP, and actually we need to switch our weapon, right? Yeah, so we need to go... We'll block, and then we'll hit him with the knife. But this thing is brutal. This little dagger. Oh my god, we're getting swarmed. Alright, pretty easy. That's the last one. Unless they spawn more in. Yeah, they're going to spawn more in, but that's fine. It's more meat for us. And more blocking XP. Right, we do have some actual gray dwarfs spawning at the edge. We got to be careful. Right, there we go. Raid's done. Clean up all the stragglers here. Got our knife up to level 8 already, so I don't think this one's going to take long to get up to 20, and then we'll have to do axes next. Okay, so we're heading back to base. We'll drop off what we have, and then we'll continue to look for... Ooh, there we go. So we'll drop off what we have, and then we'll continue along the coastline in the other direction and set up another outpost over there. So that's what we're doing right now. We'll come back when we get back to base. We go, made it back. Look at that beautiful, beautiful wall, keeping the gray dwarfs out, or the graylings. So, you can piss off. Perfect, so that should have kept everybody out. Yep, looks good. Check on our piggies. So, they're mostly grown. We need to get rid of these. Now we have only 1 stars left. So that looks good. They're hungry. Let's go ahead and feed them. I don't want to feed them too much. I remember reading something that said that if you sleep nearby, I guess they eat all the food instantly. So you don't really get much of a benefit. So we'll just feed them a little bit each day. Here, go eat your food. We'll make babies. Just double check and make sure that that's actually what happens. Happy, happy, and happy. Yep, they're all good. Alright, one thing, we did run out of food in some of the categories. Let's grab a couple tails, or the neck tails. Try to have 4 of each. That should be enough for a few days trip. We need to get our rested bonus back up full anyway, so we'll go ahead and cook. Perfect. Alright, looks good. We've got our food. Everything's repaired. Alright, it is really bright, so it looks like the sun's actually coming back out. Let's go ahead and dry off very quickly, and then we'll get back out there so we don't get our stamina drained from being wet. Alright, that looks good. So now we are traveling the other direction, so we're going to go this way. Let's close our door. But we'll go this way, and same thing, we're looking for a good spot to plop down an outpost. And maybe we'll run into another dark forest or a black forest, whatever. But there's actually an island right across from here. I don't know. This could actually be connected to the same landmass. I see it going all the way over there. So we'll have to go around and see if this does eventually meet up. If not, we could throw a raft together and just sail over there, see what's up. But I kind of want to see how big this island is that we're currently on. Sometimes it's like a full-on continent. Sometimes it's a tiny little island. It's hard to say. Got a nice little patch of mushrooms. Haven't seen these in a while. But we'll collect all these. We still have quite a bit of time on our rested state, so I don't want to set up an outpost just yet. We'll try and go another maybe 4 or 5 minutes, or a black forest, whatever comes first, I guess. Alright, now I don't know if this is the one we checked in the very beginning. Yeah, it is. The door's open. So we're kind of getting to that point where we're getting close to the spawn, and we probably need to mark the way back to the, what do you call it? The trophy circle. So at some point we'll have to do that. I do want to take these down so that I don't look at them anymore. Yeah, because that one's open. Looks like we didn't take the stuff from inside, but still. Let's go ahead and take this one down. There we go, took it out, and we need to keep moving. Right, I want to say this is where we came down, but I really don't remember. Yeah, we shouldn't have a problem finding the trophy. We'll focus on getting back to the trophy circle later. I don't want to get lost right now. I don't want to take a chance. This does look very familiar. I'm pretty sure I remember that from the beginning. But we'll try to set up an outpost somewhere to the right of here. We're still not quite far enough away. I feel like I'm getting a little bit too distracted here. We do need to keep taking deer out. It's starting to get dark, so we need to start collecting some wood along the way at least. Ooh, 2-star deer. We don't want to miss that. And I missed. Right underneath his feet. So let's just keep pushing as hard as we can. We'll get a couple more minutes over this way. I'm pretty sure this is uncharted territory. I don't think we checked this, did we? There's nothing in it, so it's hard to say if we did or not. So there's a river here that breaks up the land. So I think this is about as far as... Oh, no, I do remember this. Yep, this little inlet. I remember this half circle. Okay, so we're getting back to some familiar territory. There's a village up here. Maybe we should sleep here overnight, just temporarily. Oh, nice. We got a 1-star boar. We'll get some good resources here at least. Yeah, and I think what we'll do is we'll just set up... Oh, man, another 1-star boar. Well, at least we're fulfilling one of our goals. We didn't quite set an outpost up, but we are getting a lot of boar meat and leather. Yeah, we did. These are that's a raspberry bush. Oh no, we didn't collect it yet. It could have respawned by now though, so I don't think that's a good judge of if we've been here or not. And there's beds already here. That could be helpful. Oh, beehive. Okay, I'm pretty sure did not go here yet. Yeah, at the very least, we'll get the beehive out of this. Right, so we got our bee. Let's go and find a spot to sleep for the night. So this one does provide shelter. We just need to get a fire. We don't have stones, and I had to drop them because our inventory's full. Yeah, a little bit of a mess. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just keep pushing along the coastline. Or we could set up right here, actually. This is a decent distance from our base. So I wouldn't mind it. We did... Yeah, we did. We had our hoe out as well. I already marked this. So what we could do is set up right here. The problem is we still don't have... We don't have rocks. Alright, we got our little treehouse set up. We need to go find a little bit more wood. Oh, are we not going to be able to get out? Oh my god. We need to change the location here of the stairs because I can't get out, unfortunately. Alright, there we go. That'll work. We'll come in from the side. Alright, looks like we worked through the night. Yeah, we're already on day 12. I don't know if we're going to get an opportunity to sleep. So I'm going to finish this up, and then we'll do a recap, and I guess we'll start the next day. Alright, we're coming back with some stones. We should be good here. And then we just need a bed. Yeah, we have enough. And then if we can, we'll move the workbench up here. Perfect. Okay, so there we go. There's another outpost. Bed is too exposed. Alright, hold up. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so we can get our rested bonus. We can sleep here if it's nighttime. It's not nighttime, obviously, so I'm going to cut this. That's end of day 11. We're going to start turn 12, or day 12, a little bit late. Alright, let's go ahead and continue here, starting day 12. So the main goal, we're going to continue to gather stuff. So, like right here, we need to gather deer hides. Oh my god, I'm terrible. Oh, we still got them in the water. So deer hide, and then the pig leather. We'll start heading back to the base, and then I'd like to go retrace our steps and find the trophy circle and create a path there so we can get there consistently and not get lost. I'm really having a hard time remembering where it was. I do remember it was inland, but not by that much. Interesting. We found a curious axe head, so we will take that. If I recall, you need 2 of those, and then that'll unlock like a two-handed axe build or weapon or something. So we'll see if we can get our hands on that. Alright, we're not too far from the animals we were just slaughtering, and I'm pretty sure this is it. Pretty sure this is the trophy circle, and if it's not, then that's the altar where we summon him. Okay, this is not the trophy circle. This is where we summon Eikthyr. Alright, so we found the boss. Yep, summoning place. Alright, that works. So we'll create a path going down, I think, down to the coastline. I think our base is this way, and we came up from down here. We need to eat. Yeah, I can see the coast from here, right down there. We still need to collect pigs, so let me do that real quick, and then we'll get to creating our path. So I think the safest path is just to go straight down. Yep, straight downhill, which would be right down here, and then that will eventually meet up with the coastline, and then we can link that up back to our base. So we'll have a set path going to the trophy, or not to the trophy, but to Eikthyr. And then when it's time, we will know how to get there without getting lost. Alright, so we have our path coming down here. It kind of curved off a little bit. So I don't actually know if we're going the right direction. I think we need to start using some of the real survival tactics. Or maybe not even that, maybe just the legit map making or like cartography techniques. So I've done a little bit of research on that. We should probably start using those soon, because I do remember going in this. Yeah, I do remember going in this. Okay, so we're not that far off then. But yeah, this is not where I thought we were going to go. I thought the ocean would be right down here, but now we're veering off to the left. So we'll figure it out. Okay, I think I actually did just find... Yep, there it is. So, not what we were looking for, but we did find the trophy circle. So let's go ahead and path... We'll path around this and go right to that. And then from there, we should have no problem finding the coastline. Because it's within one screen visual distance or whatever you want to call it. You don't have to go too far to find it from here. But yep, mystical force. So we're not allowed to do it too much further past this point. So we'll have to path it around, but at least we know how to get from where the trophy is to actually putting it up in the trophy area. Let's see if this points us to that one. Yeah, it does. It definitely does. Yep, that's the one we just marked. Because I think there's usually 2 or 3... Yeah, I think 2 or 3 boss locations per map. So now what I'd like to do is kind of retrace our steps from earlier. I'm pretty sure it's down this way, right? Yep, there's the water. Follow that, it leads out that way. I don't want our path to go this way though. So ideally, it would go more directly, which I think is this way. But what I want to do before I path, I'm going to go look for it first, so that way it doesn't wind too much, it'll just be more direct. Yep, that's exactly what it was. This is the path that we took earlier. So I'm going to start pathing from here back to the trophy. So there, now our 2 roads are connected. So path to Eikthyr that leads to the trophy, and then trophy down to the coastline back to our base. So we do have an actual path. It should be very hard to get lost at this point, at least in the starting area. There we go. We are down by the water. It's exactly where we need to be. So now we need to path over this. And now we just take this back to the base. And like I said, that's a direct link. Trophy room to base, base to Eikthyr, or trophy circle to Eikthyr, and then back to the base. That's perfect. Alright, there we go. We're connected. So we have an actual road, little town network. What we might want to do is get an outpost set up over near Eikthyr, just so that we can kind of be prepared for it. I don't think it's going to be that hard, but, you know, it is, like I said, it is a one life. So if we screw it up, what are we, like 10 hours in? Maybe not 10 hours, maybe like 8 hours in. I'd rather not lose 8 hours of progress and have to redo all this. See how our pigs are doing. They're hungry. That's perfect because we brought food back. So we'll let them all eat. We did get another beehive, so we should set that up. There we go. We got 3 beehives now. There we go. Inventory's all put away. Let's go repair, and then we need to light this fire again. Yeah, we do. And it instantly went out. Yeah, I'm kind of curious what's causing that. I'd like to fix it so it doesn't happen in the future, but it's all right. So while we're waiting for that, let's go ahead and take a look at our skills. So jumping's almost 12. Clubs did hit 21. That's perfect. So that one... Oh no, we already had that. That's right. It's spears almost there. Knives already at 18. That's crazy. So we probably need to start working on axes next. So we'll get the axe ready. Yep, we got food for a couple days. Inventory's nice and light so we can travel. Next turn, I think we go set up an outpost. I don't know. Let me think about it. We'll figure it out. So let's get some sleep either way. Starting off day 13. Today we're going to clean up the path, I think, on the way back to the trophy room. And then I'd like to create an outpost over there. So that's what we'll work on. Beehives are good. Our piggies are fine. We're not maxed out. We still have some little ones running around, so we'll cull them when they get too many. Yeah, we should be good. We have a resting. We do not have a resting bonus, so let's make sure we do that. There we go. Let's head out. So really nice. There's probably a shorter path if we cut across this way, but I think we'll just take this one, and then, like I said, we'll clean it up. So cleaning up the path, basically just going to be chopping everything. We can't get rid of these just yet, but just widen it a little bit, get rid of all the trees that are in the way. I made it back to the trophy. I don't know, we do trophy circle. So our path looks pretty good. Clean it up a little bit more on the way back, but I think what I'd like to do is set up an outpost over here near Ike Tier. And then at some point, if we want to, we could just farm it. I don't know that we would need to farm it necessarily, but I guess we could if we wanted to. Alright, so let's head up past. And we need to gather a little bit of wood, so we'll just clear any trees that are on the path. That should give us plenty by the time we get there. We are full, so we're overburdened. Let's go ahead and rush over there and start building a treehouse somewhere nearby. Alright, so there's eggs here. What we could do... There's an abandoned building over there. We could just convert that. That would save us a bit of time and wood. Might just do that, because I don't think we're going to be coming back here too much. Obviously, if we die from the boss battle, it's not like we can just respawn nearby. So it's more just to recharge before you do the fight. So maybe a temporary structure would be fine. Yeah, why don't we do that? Since it's just right here, you can see it from there. We'll clear a path, and then we'll also clear some trees up there so you can see it pretty easily. Go ahead and flatten all this out. There we go. So workbench is set up here. Let's go ahead and repair. We'll get the roof, get that patched up, get a fire going somewhere nearby, and then we should be good. There you go, it's fully repaired. Roof is patched for the most part. I think there's one section missing here on the outside, but it's an outside awning. We'll just make it look nice. There, so everything is good to go here. We just need a door and a fireplace and a bed. I think we'll just leave the fire outside. Well, there is ceiling ventilation here, so it's probably okay to put it inside. So if we were to say, put the crafting station here, maybe put the bed over here. Actually, you know what we should do is put the bed... Okay, so here's how we fix it. I moved the door. So the door's no longer in the center. Now we can actually move around. So we'll put our bed back here. That'll give us our resting buff, comfort level, resting buff, all that. So we're good. Perfect. Got that. What else can we do here? Why don't we go take a look at the combat area and see if there's anything we need to fix. Hello, pig. Yo, we're not gonna fight it right now. I don't think, we don't have the trophies on us anyways, but at least we'll be prepared. Yeah, what we'll do is after this, we'll go back home and double check everything and make sure that we've crafted everything. We've got inventory, all of our equipment upgraded to what it needs to be, and then we'll go back out. I think we'll be ready for the boss at that point. So level all this off. I don't really want to fight this guy running around too much. I think we'll just do it in melee. I know if you use ranged attacks, you can kind of... I don't want to call it cheese, but it's just... I don't know. Probably not that interesting, so I'd rather do it in melee. I know it's maybe not a good survival instinct. So we'll just flatten this out a bit. Okay, that is not a lot of room to maneuver, but I guess we can retreat and go off to the grasslands. It's pretty wide open. Don't have to worry about getting stuck on trees and stuff. So that should be good. Let's head back home. Yeah, we accomplished everything we wanted to do. We cleaned the path. We got the trophy room mapped out. We've got Ike tier mapped out. Ground leveled. Now we just need to make sure that we're ready to go. Oh, that's the other thing. We need to grind out some skills. So we might spend a day or two grinding out skills, but I'll edit the vast majority of that out. Let's grab more raspberries since we can see them. These piggies are very, very hungry. Okay, so I'm going to head back. We'll drop inventory off. We'll do a quick recap of our skills, and then we'll get ready for tomorrow. So we did cap out our dagger or knife, so I'm going to switch over to using the axe. We're barely at level 3 for that, so that's got a little ways to go. All right, I'm going to hurry back home. It is getting dark. Okay, made it back home. Inventory's all sorted. Now we need to get our rest of the buff back and then see what we're going to do tomorrow. So I think we should look at our upgrade paths. So we don't have a way of getting station 4, so those are not necessary. We haven't even started with bow, and we should probably level that up pretty soon here. Yeah, club we can't really do. Armor we can't really do until we get bone fragments. We won't get that till the next area. We could... No, we need level 4 for that. Bone. This one we can do for sure, and this one we can't. So the wooden shield's the only one we can do. Let me actually do it right now. So 10, 4, and 4. Wood resin. Right, there we go. We got our upgraded shield. Next level is going to be a tier 4. No, it's max quality, so we can't upgrade that any further. The only thing we can do now is the crude bow. We haven't even started leveling bow, so maybe we should do that. Yeah, let's take a look at our stats, and that'll determine what we do tomorrow. But yeah, we're very prepared. We're probably over-prepared, but like I said, one life is you do what you got to do. So farming, no big deal. We can't really do much about that until next. Jumping at 12, so we'll probably, instead of sprinting everywhere, we'll start jumping everywhere. Blocking at 11, that one needs to go up as well. Clubs maxed out. Wood cutting, yeah, that's fine. Spear, almost a 20, that's perfect. And then, yeah, as I mentioned, we did hit knives level 20. So now we're going to focus on axes. We'll finish off spears and start working on bow, blocking, and jumping, I believe is what we'll probably work on next. And then we do have to do swimming at some point, but we're not even near the coastline for egg tier, so I don't know. We'll see. Okay, that's it for this day. That is end of day 13. Let's go ahead and sleep. All right, starting off day 14, we've got pretty much everything we need. We're just on the skill grind today, so I'm going to probably cut most of this out, but the main goal is to finish off spear. We'll start leveling flint axe and blocking, and then probably do some bow after we get spear. So the spear will level up just by throwing. We won't use it for melee. And then after that, the whole time we're going to be leveling jumping, and then probably just going around collecting the basic resources from this biome. Mostly the animal stuff and flint. We do need to upgrade that bow at some point. I'm going to try something here. So I'm going to let this grayling follow me around. Every time he comes in, we'll just get a block out of it. So he'll be like a little training dummy. And if we can get several of these guys chasing, that would be even better. We'll just make our rounds. See how many of these graylings we can accumulate. And then just let them beat on our shield. Also, I think you get more XP for a perfect parry. So I'm going to try and do that. Oh, here we go. Here's another grayling. We'll just go collect these guys. You know what I could do is I could lock them up in a... just dig a hole There, we're getting blocking leveled up pretty nicely, actually. Yeah, if we had like 3 or 4 of these guys total, that would be really nice. What would happen? Alright, sweet. So I'm going to try to find a couple more of these guys. I don't like the necks so much for blocking because they're kind of hard to judge. But that's alright. Yeah, we'll collect a bunch of animals. It's actually kind of funny. They have a giant circle jerk. Yeah, see, I don't like the necks. Their attack is really fast. It's kind of hard to see it. Okay, let's take out the necks and we'll go find some more greylings. What I'm going to do, we're over here by our outpost that's right next to the Black Forest. We're going to go along the rim of the Black Forest and the meadows, the border, and I'm going to try to see where it goes. I think we should be fine. I don't think we'll get attacked by anything here, but if we do, we just run. And then the whole time we're just taking blocks. Oh, there's a bear. Yeah, we definitely don't want to mess with that. Pretty sure even with our armor and hit points, it could probably still one-shot us. There's a boar. We can handle that. So here's a clearing. We're still near. I think we already checked this. I'm pretty sure we already cleared this area. But yeah, this is the part that borders the Black Forest still. So we'll clear all these buildings. There is a Black Forest abandoned building. How much room do we have? We still have a lot of room. What we could do is clear this out. Maybe not right now though. Yeah, because it's kind of a pain going from your hammer to your shield. So we'll do that another time. Let's just keep following the border of this and kind of see where it ends up relative to the other stuff that we've built. Okay, we're heading into some dense forest area. We got to be extra careful here. Just because we can't really see what's hiding in there. And if they spot us, we might be in a bit of trouble. So, oh, yep, there's a troll. Pretty sure that's a troll. We're going to go around it a little bit and then come back up. Yeah, that's definitely a troll. All right, he doesn't see us though, so we're fine. Yep, there's the Black Forest. So it looks like it's pretty linear. It's not like shooting in and out like sometimes they do. They have some weird borders. This one looks pretty clean. So maybe what we could do is clean... Oh, you know what? Let's try and get some Spear XP here. Okay, we're not rested anymore. We need to find that other outpost that we built over here. So that's what I'm hoping we run into at some point. So we can get that rested state. I do see... Looks like a crypt. So there should be some on the border we can get to fairly easily once we start working the Black Forest area. I see carrots. That's a good sign. All right, Black Forest is curling back this way a little bit. Let's give it some more space. Ooh, we got a bunch of boars. All right, he's going into the Black Forest. I'm not chasing him. Alright, so we're going downhill to the water. It looks like the Black Forest does reach the water. So it's a pretty clean border, actually. Yeah, very interesting. So I'm hoping we run into our little outpost not too far from here. Yep, this is the edge. There's the ocean. We got their gray dwarfs, skeletons. Yeah, we're not going to mess with it just yet. We've got a boar runestone. We still got our greylings following us. That's good. Yep, that is the edge of the Black Forest. So there's like a little thumbnail right here. The river splits it, and then the real Black Forest starts over there. But I think this is still enough for them to spawn. So we don't want to really mess around here too much. Let's go back. And we should be able to spot our little treehouse somewhere. Yep, there it is. Okay, yeah, so that works out really well. I'm glad we built that network. We might want to do a little bit of that along the border of the Black Forest. Just every so often, we'll put one out. And that way we have a safe place to run to and also get our rested state back. And then at some point we'll want to build inside the Black Forest, but I think in the beginning we're just going to be making quick excursions, go in, grab some stuff, and get out quickly. I don't think we want to stay in there for too long and then maybe methodically start to clear it out. Okay, the sun is coming down, so it's starting to get a little bit dark. We don't have that much inventory on us, so what I might end up doing is just staying around here. I'd like to start building a path. Do we have a path here? I don't think so. No, we don't. Yeah, I'd like to build a path for the loop that we just made. So from the base to the two outposts, and then the outposts outlining the shape of the Black Forest. And then we'll get some outposts by the Black Forest, kind of spaced out decently, and that'll give us a nice jumping off point. What are we doing on block anyways? Blocking is level 16. Wow, we actually did very well. So I'm gonna probably milk this a little bit. I wish we would find another grayling. Actually 3 or 4 would be better than 2, but it's all right. Let's actually go get our stamina back. There we go. So sheltered near a fire, we should be getting back 10 or 11 minutes. There we go. 11 minutes. That's more than enough. Okay, so what I'm going to do, obviously not going to show all of this because it's super boring. I'm going to jump in place, and when they come back to attack, we'll block, parry it. We're just going to level blocking and jumping for now. Here we go. We got blocking to 20. Let's take these guys out. Access to 8. Let's go do a recap. We'll do a proper recap in our bed area. And then tomorrow we'll probably grind a few more skills and get the paths straightened out, get ready for the Black Forest, because I think we're ready for Eikthyr. I'm not too concerned about him, but I am concerned about the Black Forest. So anyways, what are we looking at here? We've got jumping up to 17, so that's almost there. Blocking at 20, that's a huge difference. Damage absorbed when blocking with the weapon or shield, so that's going to help us expand how much we can block. So good on that. We've got our axe up to 8. I think it was at like 2 or 3, so that's decent. Spear's just about to hit 19. We'll hit that without even trying. That one's just going to do it on its own pretty much with how often we use that. Sneaking we could probably spend some time doing, and then swimming. So we'll do that next. Yep, we need to definitely level up axes and bow, finish off spear, and then we should be good. Maybe a little bit of swimming. So that is going to be it. Let's go ahead and get some sleep. Starting off day 15, on our agenda today, we're going to continue leveling skills. We need to get axe, bow, sneaking, swimming, and jumping up. I'm probably missing one, but that's what I have on my list. Also, start to clean up the path from the base to the outpost. So why don't we go from this outpost back to the base? So this is, if I remember, yep, it should go back this way, right? Looking at the coast. So we want to go back this way. And then after that, we want to go along the Black Forest edge. So over there, up and around, we'll basically just create a big circle, essentially. So that would be really nice. We'll have full control of the whole meadows area and decent control of the Black Forest, the edge of the Black Forest. We did not. We didn't get our bonus, did we? There we go. Got our rusted bonus. So we'll. Looks like we had some company. I don't know where he went. So yeah, I know this is gonna be pretty boring. So we'll come back when we get to the main base or something. So we used our rested state up, and that's what, 11 minutes? We're not quite there yet. Oh, I know where we are. There's the little house in the island. So it's at the other bend. This is taking a lot longer than I thought it was going to take, but that's fine. Through the magic of editing, it's at least not so boring for you guys. And my tool broke, so I got to go back anyways. Here we go. So I see the walls. So yeah, we're right near the edge. I'm gonna go finish the rest of it, and I might call it a night. I don't know. We'll see. I don't think we have time for much else, so we might have to do a turn or two doing that on the other direction, and then we'll have to do the skill grind a little bit later. At least we can come back with some deer meat. Checking in on our pigs. We've got a bunch of 1-stars, so why don't we get rid of the rune boar? Or did I had it turned on, I thought. Maybe you have to re-enable it. There we go. And they don't have any food, so let's go ahead and feed them so they can breed. Actually, we only need 3. Because you can only have up to 6. So if they all breed and have a baby, we'll get 3 by whenever the next breeding cycle is. There they go. Same, hungry. Yeah. So once they eat, they're happy, they start breeding. We should be good. So I think I'm going to do that from now on. I'm going to go finish off the road. We'll come back, sleep. We'll check our stats first, and then we'll plan for tomorrow. But probably going to be the same thing tomorrow, so maybe a couple days we'll do something more interesting. But like I said, I'll cut most of this. All right, there we go. The 2 paths are connected, so now we have a path from the base all the way to one edge of the meadows, so into the dark forest. So let's clean this up, and then we'll check stats, sleep, do it again the other direction. There we go, made it back home. Let's check our stats, and we'll get ready to do it again tomorrow. So we're looking at axes up to level 9, almost level 10, so basically halfway there. Blocking, I don't remember if we did actually hit that yet already or not, but we did. We are now. Spears, very close to 20, that's looking good. And then the only other one, jump, not quite there yet. Yeah, I do want to work on sneak and swimming. I think both of those would be pretty helpful. And then also crafting, level 12. We'll get that up because we'll have to create some outposts. Yeah, we'll have to do that along the Black Forest edge. And then I think we'll be ready for Eikthyr, or Eikthyr, however you pronounce it. So that's it. Let me get ready for bed. So that'll be end of day 15. Starting off day 16, again, this one should be pretty straightforward. I'm going to continue the path to the other edge. So we're going to go, I think I already did this, right, along the coast to the other entrance. Yeah, we did. Okay, so I'm going to work on that. If anything interesting pops up, we'll come back. Here we go. We're coming up to our other outpost. That didn't take the whole day. Pretty close to it, but not quite. We'll have a little bit of time. So maybe we'll do some swimming or something. So what I'd like to do with the border is just create a path like we've been doing. And then that'll basically be our safety net. If we leave the Black Forest anywhere towards this, then we'll know where we are and how to get back home. So probably going to save that for later. I got to deal with these guys real quick. Alright, so why don't we do this? Let's go level up swimming. So essentially what we're going to do is we'll go out and just swim along the edge. So if we run out of stamina, we'll basically start drowning. So just like that. Swim out, just do a couple short strokes around the coastline, and then come back in to get your stamina, and then back out again. We hit level 10 swimming. That was pretty fast. I think we'll call that a day for that skill. So why don't we start working on our road? Yep, we'll go up this way. Gotta be real careful though. Last time we were here, I did see a troll. So don't really want to run into one of those. Alright, that bear is still there. Is it a 1-star? See if we can get visual on it without aggroing it. Yeah, it's a regular bear. Okay, well, we're not going to mess with it either way. We got gray dwarfs. This is a 1-star. And we're going to get swarmed, so we're going to have to back off. Let's pull them down the hill so we're not going to get swarmed by a bunch all at once. Yeah, it looks like 3. So we'll have to play pretty defensively here. I think we can go for the parry. Maybe not against both. Oh, okay. Well, when they're stacked inside each other, it's kind of hard to parry them both. All right, we're getting hit by rocks. Here we go. One down. All right, we just got hit by them because they're so annoying, man. They run by you, act like they're going to leave you alone, and then yeah. Anyways, we got them. Not a big deal. So I think we're pretty much done for the day. I don't want to go back up there at nighttime. Not like that. So let's just go to sleep. Yeah, I think we'll call it a day. I mean, we did what we set out for. We leveled up some stuff. We created a path to this outpost, and now both outposts are covered. And we also had time to level up some skills. So we got swimming up to level 10, so that's perfect. Halfway there. We probably should start working on our bow skill. I do want to use bows. I just don't want to rely on it because I know everybody uses bows in this game, and it's kind of boring to watch. I'd rather get in there and do some melee combat. It's good for me too. I don't want to get lazy and rely on something easy. So anyways, let's go to sleep. That'll be end of day 16. All right, starting off day 17. I think what we'll do, we'll wait for it to get a little bit brighter, and then we'll start to work on our path. And then at some point we'll have to figure out where we're going to put those little outposts. But I don't know if we'll put them up right away, or if we'll just try and get through this, get the path done. And then I'd love to get a path from our base